Alright. We are live. Hi. We are doing a run of Dark Souls 2 all achievements. I'm 2RED2Game, call me Red. And with me, on my left geographically, if you spin a globe closer, is Stennis. And if you do the same thing to the right, closer is Pseudo.
Hey guys.
There we go, that's Pseudo. Stennis, hi. You're muted. Okay, we lost Stennis somewhere in the transition between our channels. It's okay.
There we go. I was stuck in some muted setting, so there you go.
Alright, cool. Hi, Stennis. Okay, then we are complete.
Hi.
If we are ready, I can start. Do you want a countdown? We should do a countdown. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, good luck, Red.
Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay, we're gonna start slowly. It's gonna change about 1.5 minutes into the run. Okay, so here we are, Dark Souls 2. First thing we're gonna do is create a character, which you sadly cannot do before you start the game. The only Dark Souls game that does that. What should we name the character?
Privilege.
Yeah, privilege. Yeah, resetting to character creation, who doesn't love it? Okay, let's call it another. I hate it. Right. And then we can create our character. We're gonna go Cleric with Bonfire aesthetic. Cleric because this run will use, there's our first achievement by the way. Creating a character. Right. Cleric because we're gonna do a Hexus build. And we need some faith for that, and clerics have a lot of faith. Sorcerer would be ideal in theory, like 30 seconds faster, but it requires a lot of awkward stuff that I don't want to do in a marathon. And not even outside of a marathon, so not gonna bother with that.
Cleric has quite a good set of stats for old patch. It's already got the faith high, it's already got a chime to cast things. It can actually use weapons at the start, has a lot of health. So it's just a very, decent starting class for old patch.
A reason Sorcerer sometimes might be better is just because of the higher attunement at the start and generally less level into things like strength and dexterity. Actually, might have higher dexterity, but less strength at least, so it means the first levels will cost a few bit less souls than you would with Cleric to get to the stats you want.
Yeah. And really seeing me do right now is called Binary Boost, which is why we stopped going fast 1.5 minutes into the run. Stopped going slow. We started going fast, that way around. Binary Boost lets you, well, go real fast as you could see. Don't really know why it works, just how it works. And now we're gonna dupe Soul, second glitch of the run. There we go. We used the Soul, we dropped it while we used it. And we can just use it again. Ah shit, I actually waited too long. I'm an actual genius. Alright, whatever. Yeah, I didn't.
The third time now for safety.
I can heal. Bam, starting class. Insane. Alright. I didn't want to get ahead of my explanation, so I waited a bit for the tube. Oh well.
It's the door of knowledge.
Yeah. So what you're doing with binary is just you roll, you look through your binoculars and you attack at the same time. And then, well, you go quick. And depending on how long you look through the binoculars, it's gonna be a longer or shorter boost. Unless you go too long, then it's gonna be a really shitty boost, like. Shouldn't probably shot it here.
Around like 3 seconds. There's a lot of stuff that can mess with the binary boost, such as rocks on the ground and a lot of stuff that typically things that make your character look like it's falling for just like a tiny second will usually break the binary boost.
Yeah. You're gonna
also,
pick up the
binary boost timings just shortly after animations also different. So if you, for example, fall off a ledge or drop off a ledge and land, and then trying to binary boost immediately, you're kind of still in a almost landing recovery, and your binary boost won't be as long as the ones you can get in standard play. So
Yeah,
just throughout
same
the run,
thing
you'll have
when
to adjust.
Same thing when you just exit the ladder, for example. Gives
Yeah,
it a little
exactly.
animation before you start going full speed again.
But in general, binary boosting is not too bad once you're used to it.
Yeah,
As you can tell, it saves a lot of time, which makes this run
much more
not as
manageable.
long
Yeah.
as it could be on current patch.
Yeah, I'm currently record look at like a few hours more.
Oh yeah, at least. Nice red.
Damn.
That's a difficult
got the
drop.
skip.
Actually true, because it's the first time we're doing all achievements in a marathon.
Well, I think we used to do that for our Nubis probably did that in RBO last ESA, but I already had a different skip by then, so we didn't go to him.
Okay. In Sane Optimization, you can use an item while you talk. So we're going to use the dark sign while talking to this guy. Or did I drop frames? This must be unfortunate.
Oh,
is
I
that
think
what
it
it
was
was?
fine in on my end.
Yeah, it's fine on this stream.
Huh.
I saw the messages in chat. I was quite
Okay.
confused.
Bit war. We actually need to do this bit here.
Oh yeah, Paid's questline.
Paid's questline. We have a bit war going on, guys. There are two NPCs who don't like each other. And if we do the correct stuff, they're gonna fight each other. And you guys can choose who to help. So introducing the first guy is this person right here. That's Paid. Definitely not Patches from this one.
I'm sure nobody really likes Paid in general, but he is there.
Yeah, he's there. Gives us the white soapstone, which might actually change my menu. And I can't drop it, so I might need to drop something else. Okay, and we're gonna go to our first boss fight, which is also the most terrible boss fight in the whole run. Last Giant, because we're gonna fight him with a mace, which is like really bad.
You should have picked up the ooze when you went through the Paid shortcut, Red.
Ah,
There's
ooh,
4 ooze on the ground.
that would have been so smart. I didn't think about it.
5-head routing.
Yeah, I didn't even remember that was there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now you said it, yeah, that's some actual 5-head. Okay, we're gonna punch him a bit and throw firebombs and shit. And hopefully we'll die somewhat quick, and we won't. That's a triple stomp. It's a very well-designed boss, as you can see. A lot of different attacks.
Dennis, you've done this fight with the opening weapon of sorcerer, right?
Yeah.
Is it how bad is it? Is it worse than mace?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Okay, second achievement. We use the dark sign before we get the souls from him. Normally you use the souls when you use the dark sign. But if we do it before he gives us the souls, we will get the souls afterwards. So now we can buy stuff from Melancher. Which will give us the gold serpent ring. Silver serpent, yeah, right. We get both rings this turn, so I'm confused. This ring will increase the souls we get. This route in general is very low on souls throughout the start.
Yeah, it's a 20% increase for all souls from kills. So it doesn't affect souls you pop.
Yeah, sadly.
Otherwise, but at least from all the bosses that will be killed, it grants quite a bit more.
Okay, the Sura is actually a really nice fight here. We can parry him. And we can shoot him with this ballista nicely stands here, and then we get wrecked by him. That's interesting. Then we throw a firebomb.
I think you can finish him with 2 mace hits as well, if I'm not mistaken. But depends on what he does.
That fight's actually a lot easier on current patch. They nerfed his poise, so when you shoot him with the ballista, he gets stuck there, and you can chain him to death even on New Game 7, I believe. So it is harder on old patch, but you know.
Yeah, it's fine as long as you parry.
Okay. And now we're basically set up. We grab this bonfire for later. We'll return in like 1.5 hours. I'll probably say we return here in 1.5 hours a lot during this run. Just get used to it again. Now we got this key from a launcher, which lets us open the blacksmith door, so we can upgrade our weapon later on. And now we go for our next achievement, our first Covenant. But first we get some homeward bones. It's the same as Dark Sign. You warp back to last bonfire, but you don't lose the souls with this, which is cool. And there we go, next achievement. Don't mind achievements being in German.
For those who don't understand the German, the achievements so far, if I can get it right, reclamation of flesh, I think, is for, essentially it's another word for character creation.
Yeah.
Kill the last giant is done, and I think discover the Covenant of Champions, the 3 that we've got so far.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly how many of the achievements there are in this category. Like
39, I think?
39? Okay.
I'm not sure.
But there's quite a few that you get throughout the run.
Like, it doesn't really matter how many there are if you just get them all. Anyways. Only important is just I guess I'll check before going to NG Plus if I have all achievements.
Yeah,
yeah, probably smart in Marathon.
Another entire
Then I should be 4 achievements of like Master of Miracles, Master of Pyromancy, Gesture Maestro, and the Dark Soul. Yeah.
Yeah.
So those 4 I should have, unless I didn't die. In this case I also have Welcome to Dark Souls achievement left.
I really want to see it one day. Someone actually has to take the Force death after Nash.
Yeah.
Okay, Dragon Rider is a very hard boss. Unless you let him fall off, then he's fairly easy. And because we need souls, we're actually gonna do it twice. So now we made him fall off. First gonna send Alicia back. It's the NPC here. No, I don't want to buy this shit about it. Oh, whatever. Not too bad. So we're gonna send her back. I was supposed to buy it later, but it's not too bad. Don't think I'm messing with my souls. Now we go to the other bonfire turret, which was actually not only a peach bonfire, but we're gonna use that to revive the Dragon Rider boss with the bonfire setting we started with at the bonfire at the character creation. This will revive Dragon Rider and also put the whole area 1 new game cycle higher, which will also spawn a few new enemies, which is unfortunate. But it lets us kill Dragon Rider again, and as you could see, it's pretty easy to kill Dragon Rider.
For those that aren't too much aware of the New Game Plus cycles in Dark Souls 2, they're quite a lot harder than the, say, New Game cycle in the other Souls games. The bosses get a lot more HP, and I'm not sure if it's double. So it's essentially a much more harder version of New Game than you would think, but you get rewarded with a lot of souls. Unfortunately, since you don't actually need to fight Dragon Rider, it's a lot of souls early game, which is very nice for leveling up to use the hexes.
Yeah, so now we got 78,000 souls already, and we still have 2 Dragon Rider souls to pop, which is quite cool for the start. We're gonna use that immediately to level up a lot of stuff here. Our level up waifu, the Emerald Herald. We're gonna get 35, because then Licia, who we just sent back from Dragon Rider, will give us a chime that we will use for the start of the game. Oh, nice immediate cancel from Binary there.
Yeah, so that was an example. If you bind a boost and then drop off a 10 centimeter drop, you lose all your momentum. The bind boost stops. So generally,
yeah, so one thing that the game sort of limits you to how fast you can go while midair. So basically, as soon as you start flying, you lose basically all the excess speed the binding boost gives you. So you can't really make use of the binding boost to do like extra long jumps or something like that. You just get a normal jump as soon as you go over the ledge, basically.
Yeah. Okay, now we unlocked a new area thanks to Licia. And she gave us not only her chime, which we'll use to cast our spells, but also a hood, which will give us 1 more cast on all of our stuff, and 1 more faith, but we don't really need a faith in this room. I forgot to use this, so whatever. We buy GRS from Falcon here. Because it's a very strong spell.
GRS is Great Resonant Soul.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be using that acronym a lot. Great Resonant Soul is really very strong on old patch and is pretty much used in all categories on this patch of the game. It's,
Yeah.
You'll see why.
So the resonant hexes have a special little mechanic that they cost souls every time you use them. GRS in particular costs 500 soul for each cast, but it's more than made up for the fact that you do just so much more damage than basically everything else at this stats.
Yeah, I'm also pair rocking right now. I guess you explain it the next pair rock. It's just coming up.
Yeah.
We're still stuck in explaining GRS.
About what happened here, we'll
don't worry about it. We'll figure it out
a few more times.
Yeah. So I don't know. You guys want to explain pair rock? I'm just gonna do it again here.
Yeah.
I'll
take it away. So a parawalk in these two is sort of a state that you get into after you've paired an enemy and you basically cancel a riposte at the perfect timing using a roll. So you actually start to roll tiny bit before you start to riposte. And what happens then is that sort of your character just rolls past the enemy and the enemy gets locked in his state of lying down on the ground until you deload the enemy. And what that does for you is that your height is tied to that character or to that enemy lying on the ground. So you can exploit that to basically just run in the air without losing any height. And if you do jumps while you're stuck, your relative height will change from that of the enemy. So you can increase your height and do skips that way.
Yeah. What you just saw a bit hidden by my HRD was Creighton. The second guy for Orbit fight
you
against.
actually not need to open the door.
I don't need to. I tested him. You just need to talk to him and he will move. You don't need to open the door.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. So while we are in Binary Boost, we could grab stuff from out of bounds. We just did with Flame Butterflies.
So you're doing the easy skip now, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a skip that is. Call it the easy skip because we never actually practiced this thing much. It just sort of always worked from the day we found it. There are ways you can fail it, especially here because he is much lower than we would do it for RBO because it's picking up the butterfly. Still got it though, clipped on the ledge just barely.
That always
which
happens,
then helps you
actually.
just skip past the bridge after Skelly Lords completely.
Alright, wrong spell. I wanna buy this one. It is Glorn, that's not a Blacksmith. We will use her to get upgrade material later. Shall we go?
I guess.
Yeah, I guess I should mention there's an achievement for getting all NPCs that go to Magilla to Magilla. So we need to get to every NPC and send them back, and then a lot of times I will be talking to them. That does it. Oh, I failed this jump. Awesome.
You'll be doing a ladder warp to skip Mirror Knight as well, right? Or do you do the old skip?
No, I'll do ladder warp, yeah. You know, these guys are blocking me, which is kind of sad. I recently found out you don't even need to jump for that. Out of bounds glitch here.
You don't, but
you don't
it's
need to.
really, really hard.
Yeah, it's very hard to get it without jumping.
Yeah, I got it accidentally in my
PvP. Got very surprised.
Yeah, same. Okay, we need all spells, sorceries, miracles, pyromancy, and hexes for achievements. So here I just picked up a sorcery that just kind of lies around there. Together with 5k soul, which also will come in handy. Because it's 5,000 souls. I forgot to equip my chime.
So a little quirk in these two as opposed to this one is that you can only dupe regular souls, you can't dupe boss souls. So the best souls we can pick up are the 20,000 ones, but they are pretty far out of the way for this routing. Most sensible ones would be either in Airy or in the crypts, I guess.
Yeah, we'll get the one in the undead crypt most likely. In theory, you don't need it for the run, but I usually always fail at least one dupe, so I get it every time.
It's not much of a time loss in this one because you have
Yeah.
to go that way anyway, though. So.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, 5 seconds time loss or something.
There is a 20k soul in current patch that's much faster to pick up in DLC 1, but unfortunately you can't go into DLC 1 on this patch of the game.
Next clutch coming up, it's a tune clutch. So usually GS has 9 casts, but if you attune while you warp during a loading screen another spell over GS, that will take the amount of casts of that spell and put it onto GS. So now our casts went from 9 to 32. And that also helps a lot during the run.
Yeah, this glitch really made old patch a lot better in some of these categories where, you know, most of the time you don't really need the 30 casts to kill a boss, but there's a lot of bosses where you might need more than 9. So just having this just saved all the effort of picking up spell restores all over the place and then using them in really sensible ways. Whereas now we just get as many casts as you want, basically.
Yeah, and it's pretty limited how many spell restores you can get easily. So even with grabbing, I think 3 spell restores and 4s and 2 others you can get sort of for free, then you probably would need quite a few more to go through the game without grabbing extra bonfires and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we got a few rings from the cat. Most important is the silver cat ring, which reduces fall damage. That's the way we survive down here. Without the ring we would just die on the first drop. Okay. I forgot to tune solo piece, which we'll kind of need for the next boss. So I'm gonna do it here.
For those who haven't seen this fight before with solo Ps, it's very nice. It's very easy, and
yeah.
there was a time when we used to have to kill these rats manually, but this is just infinitely better and more comfy.
Although there is a little thing with solo Ps that sometimes it can be kind of inconsistent. So if you're very unlucky, the fight ends up being kind of a meme, because sometimes it just doesn't hit a rat that's right next to you.
Yeah.
And since the casting speed is so slow, then you can easily get interrupted. And when the big main rat spawns, he also does a lot of toxic damage.
Yeah, he's actually really OP.
Yeah, if the main rat hits me, I'm basically dead.
Yeah, I think at these stats you probably get completely toxic in
yeah, I
one
got
hit,
immediately toxic.
maybe
Yeah,
two.
Yeah,
it'll
it's
be
one
one
hit. It's one hit. So solo piece kills a lot of rats around us.
And there you see 2 of them survived inside the caves. They would usually be hit, but luckily they're.
Oh, we got a late red. That's awesome.
So solo Ps normally would hit this big rat here and do a third of his health as well as killing all the other ones that are nearby if the game likes you. So it makes it really easy.
Yeah. So basically the main rat sort of spawns at certain times. You would usually spawn a bit faster there when you kill all the other rats in 2 hits. And spawn a bit later when you kill them. Actually when you kill them in 1, he spawns later usually as well. Which is kind of weird, so there's no reason for us to try to optimize for one hit to kill 10 rats at the start, which you can do.
Okay, so another achievement there. This is another Covenant achievement. I think there's 8 Covenants, or some of them are like that.
Maybe 8 or 9, something like that.
And that was the second one, the Rat Covenant.
Yeah.
You only have to find it. You don't have to join.
Yeah.
A lot of these things Red's picking up throughout the run will be used. It's maybe not obvious where they're going to be used. That one's later on in order to join the Covenant after Chariot. So you've got to plan quite a long way ahead in this category.
Like the item I just picked up, as Suda said, it's going to be for a Covenant. I'll join in like 2.5 hours or something.
Yeah.
I don't want to actually have to join because otherwise the guy, I need to buy stuff from the guy who wants me to join the Covenant. He won't sell it to me if I'm not in the Covenant. Which is kind of sad. Okay, some crazy jumps. Scary jumps, but we survived.
Damn, no baby jumps, insane.
But I get this.
Oh no.
Achievement.
Well,
Okay.
achievement.
Achievement. There you go. Dying first death is an achievement. So that was obviously planned from the beginning.
I'm curious how many people got that achievement before character creations. I certainly did. I was attacking the little kobolds.
Oh yeah, those are OP.
Instant death, yeah.
Those are so
sure.
Nice introduction to the game.
I think I died to one of the one of the giants there first, but
Yeah, the ogre. Yeah,
elephant dudes. Yeah, ogres. But I'm not sure I did that before or after character creation.
Right.
Since the pod is so well hidden on the side behind that singular bush.
No! Okay, dead again. That's whatever.
Oh, how many souls did you lose now?
20k. It's like 4 or 5k dudes. That's not too bad.
That's fine. Yeah.
I can
Mini
do that.
rats don't give many souls.
Yeah,
No, it's
sadly,
everything's spent beforehand.
it's also a thing. We need to trade some. We need to trade some souls in for spells. So some souls of bosses we cannot use to get souls.
Oh, yeah.
The red soul is one of them.
Yeah. All rat souls, actually.
Yeah, both rats.
Actually insane. I died twice here without a baby jump. That's pretty.
Yeah.
New.
Yeah, dying here with a baby jump is.
You shouldn't have
is
said that, Red. The baby jump is coming out now.
Yeah, number 3. Here we go.
Oh, I did it. No baby jump. Alright,
Nice.
now we'll drop down here very carefully. Okay, we did it.
Sansa gems.
It's good, man.
So there's another spell in this pot. I don't know why people in Dark Souls Verge put spells in pots and holes, but that's just where they're located. Don't question the lore.
Both that one and scraps, which you
There you go.
as well here.
Yeah.
Soul is actually the perfect tubing spot, so let's go.
So scraps, which you will be picking up here, is also a pretty good cost for a lot of bosses because you can do a lot of hits at pretty decent damage. Oh, fell the dupe there.
Yeah, many layers.
But it's also kind of inconsistent, so we'll see how it goes.
Oh, I didn't die. Insane. Okay. There was some insane momentum I got there. But,
yeah, I normally just
that's
punch
also
off
nice.
I don't trust the walking off mechanic.
That was a nice little thing about the Binus as well that was discovered much later than Binus boosting for some reason, even though it's so simple. Just looking through the Binus while you're midair will actually slow your forward momentum quite a bit. You can use it to cancel rolls, but it also can save you in some situations from not going too far forward. So both of those things just saved Dread from falling off and dying right now.
Yeah. Okay, and down here are some giants we need to kill. Well, we technically don't need to, but we need to if we want to go fast.
You do need to kill them because you need to get to Dark Bucket.
Alright, right, I drove a key. I have completely forgot about the key actually, the key aspect.
So I used to just kill them on autopilot.
Yeah, we need to kill them. There we go. But there's a boss
very often that
later called Revendrick. Oh, I'm gonna fizzle in the wall, of course. Wanna explain fizzle?
Yeah, so with it's sort of weird because it's sort of only on some chimes, but casts, especially hexes, will actually start from behind you. And in two situations that's really annoying because either if you're standing really close to the wall, the hex will hit the wall behind you instead of casting towards the enemy in front of you, or if the enemy is really tall, which also the giants are, and they're very close, you will aim so high up that the hex will hit the ground instead.
It will start beneath the ground,
because of
and
that
hit the ground and not cast. It's very annoying.
So it's something you really have to be mindful about, especially for all the bosses when you're using hexes.
Yeah, you need a lot of enemies like aware of it the whole game.
Yeah, and also if you're standing too close to an enemy, like right in their face, especially with this chime, it can fizzle as well. So especially Mirror Knights, you have to be at a bit of a distance, and it kind of ruins some potential strats, but just gotta deal with it.
Oh.
So Mirror Knight, Vendrick is a bad one. Sentinels, I always get it as well. It can probably happen in a lot of different places. Last Giant.
Uh,
Rat Authority.
Yeah.
Kind of
basically anything that's higher than your character is, you've got to be careful.
Chill here. I guess I'll grab the 5k at Gandalf too.
Yeah. Did you know the other backup 5k in the same area, Red, by the that Stannis mentioned earlier, by the big
by the basilisk.
Yeah.
It's up the stairs behind him.
But I mean, I think I kind of too 5P is the closest one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you only need to get to Dragon Lake and then you get another one. So.
The
So for
fastest
those who
one is the
don't,
one by Gandalf, anyways.
yeah. For those who don't know, duping is possible on old patch, but if you mess it up, which is quite easy to do, then you don't get another chance. As with a lot of games, I guess, because you have to drop the soul. And if you either get a bad input or you're too slow, would also not do it. Then you just use the soul, and then that's it, and you need to go and find another one.
Yeah, and especially if you're just barely too slow, then it will look like you actually drop an item on the ground and
Yeah.
lying
You can't
there.
pick it up.
But when you try to pick it up, it just says that there's nothing there. Basically.
Yeah. I feel like
Yeah.
it's like a drop. It's like a zero.
Yeah, I guess
It's zero
maybe the
count
game
item.
sets the item to like a placeholder
yeah.
for no item, and then you actually drop the no item on the ground.
Yeah. There's a few ways to get this. The default backup error is you may not pick your inventory is full. You can't pick up this item despite the fact there's none there. So you just have a kind of lurking empty item floating on the screen that you can never get rid of.
Okay, here's Drayton again. This time you can see him better. I'll talk to him so he moves further for the quest line. So what I'm doing right now, I guess, can talk about the routing. Since hexes are so strong, the covenant of the Gandalf dudes, I'll show you the next Gandalf dudes soon, gives you a ring that increases hex damage by like, I think 20%.
Yep.
So we're gonna rush that basically now. For damage.
Damn, didn't even get the sneaky ghost. Insane.
Yeah,
There's a ghost who likes to follow you up there, try to backstab you.
Yeah, so this area is really cool, as you can see. I missed my cue somewhere.
Yeah, this
Nice.
area is.
I'm lost. Awesome, I like it.
It's quite frustrating. I would say.
Right, left to you.
There we go.
The chest.
Okay. This chest. This is
Oh, they let you open it. Nice.
nice, but then they killed me.
Yeah. No good.
Unfortunately, the chest closes again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of sad. So this chest has a ring in it that decreases cast speed by like 30% or something. It's pretty insane.
Yeah, it's really useful.
For
anyone
and
that
especially
you want it.
The thing is, before attunement glitch, which gave you a whole lot of casts, we would get like upwards of like 40, 50 attunement probably, which also affects cast speed. Now you get like, I don't know, 13, 16, something around there. So the cast speed ring is insanely important for like having good boss fights in general.
I missed it again.
You can argue in some
Why?
of the shorter runs.
God damn
Oh,
it. Oh, that's why we have an insane
set up
center.
to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
This area is
I had
is
a
very
nice
annoying.
setup from... Oh, there we go. Let's just find my souls. Alright, oh, let's just pray, I guess. Oh, this... Oh, okay, they stepped in the air.
Okay,
That's
good.
cool.
Yeah,
Alright,
that
nice.
ghost on the right, if it doesn't shoot you immediately, it very often rolls toward you to try and roll catch you, and just stabs the air because we don't actually leave the chest like ever. We
Yeah,
just take it.
as long as the arrow
Yeah,
doesn't hit you and he doesn't shoot another arrow, he's generally not that much of a problem. Surprisingly, because he can be very close to you and just threateningly roll away.
Now GS is gonna cost way faster. That's very, very cool.
And it'll cast even faster again when we get rid of this chime. This is a good like starting game chime for sure. But it's just slow
Okay,
and it
this
can be
is
improved.
one of the Gandalf dudes I was talking about. You need to find all three. I've found two so far. We get our backup soul.
So, unupgraded, I think this chime is probably the highest X damage chime in game, a tiny bit more than Kethas. But cast speed is just so much lower, and at plus 10 the Kethas destroys the Isles chime when max, which only goes to plus 5, I think, because of Twinkling.
You can go to Medulla to get 19 intelligence, which we'll need. There's a really annoying gate coming up we need to open. And we open it basically by killing enemies close to golems. You will see it when you get there. But since we need to kill enemies to open it, we want to one-shot them, and for that we need Knight Intelligence. Which
Yeah.
you usually would get after Giants, but I lost my soul, so I didn't. So I'll just get it now.
Yeah, being able to one-shot these enemies is just really nice.
Yeah,
You can do
Suda
it
would
without
know about
one-shotting
it.
them, but it's miserable.
Yeah,
Suda would know about
you
it.
have to get kind of lucky, especially if he does the stab or something like that, and then backs
Oh,
off.
the stab is just so bad. They designed an attack with these royal soldiers called the stab or the poke, which always hits. Well, I say hits. It always attacks you from well outside the range of actually being able to hit you. So they attack the air from 3 meters away and stop coming towards you. So in cases where you need to be killing enemies like within ranges of stuff, it's just a really bad attack because they never actually get to within the range, and the attack takes quite a long time, and you're standing around.
It can get within the range on
Yeah.
twice, but I've been really surprised when it happens because that almost never happens when they do that attack. They basically lean forward with like all the length they can muster to do a stab, so they're as far away as they possibly can.
And even
be.
then, they're like right on the boundary of the golem.
Okay. So pair up another guy. I'll call it Shrine of Winterskip. Usually, to get to the area we go now, you need to kill all 4 great ones, or collect 1 million soul memory in total. To open the door. But if you can, just manage your way to go past this rubble of stone here. The chosen undead can just skip the whole stuff, which is nice to do. Yeah, there I pick up repair. I pick up some human effigy. As you can see, once I die, my maximum health depletes, and I need human effigies to get back to my human form and have my maximum health again.
So this lizard is usually not really helpful in terms of speed, but since especially the chunks and slab cost so much when you want to upgrade a weapon, getting the three chunks there in one slab saves you like, I don't know, probably like 60,000 souls or something.
Oh god, I fizzled into the wall.
Later on.
Oh dear.
Yeah, too close to the.
Yeah. Okay, I fizzle again.
Not dead yet, but it's going to be.
Just gonna...
Now there's an issue because the royal soldiers will be walking around. You really need them to die really close to those statues there, because the statues will capture their souls when they die in order to open the door. Actually they were pretty nice.
Yeah, you can just lock on red.
Yeah, I don't know why now I do that. Is that close enough?
They were just standing there.
He had negative stamina, red.
Oh, oh my god, I had negative stamina, so I didn't want to. Yeah, that's also a thing.
This guy has 610 HP. And if you don't have 19 int, you will do 609 damage, which is why you have to get 19 int and not 18 int.
This was
however, if you don't have full stamina, Dark Souls 2 will punish you by taking off some menial amount of damage from your attack, say 5 damage. So in that case, Red did 607 damage, which doesn't one-shot him. Which is annoying because you don't really think about that kind of thing much unless you're really optimizing fights, and then suddenly the bot survives with 1 HP, and it's
especially when doing casts. I think it took quite a while before I actually really realized what was going on. Thinking it was distance usually when it was actually stamina, because you wouldn't think that being tired and doing a cast would do so much less damage.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying, but you can deal with it usually. Just lose time long. Yeah, but we got past the gate. It was the annoying gate I was talking about earlier. Yes, you kind of figured that out.
That was a good example of how that gate can go wrong. Right?
Yeah, right. Always here to give good examples for viewers.
How is he running so fast? So he's using a glitch called Binary Boost, which is only available on old patch, and essentially for about a few seconds, it gives you very fast running speed. It's not a particularly hard glitch, but you can only kind of do it when you're running in straight lines or on flat ground. And it was patched when, before the first DLC came out. So unfortunately we can't do this on current patch, but it does save a lot of time, and it's very useful.
Okay.
And now Red joined this nice chap's little clan here to. This is to get the Abyss Seal, which is the ring we were talking about. You also need to discover all covenants, but also to get the Abyss Seal early, which will add 20% damage to all hexes.
However, it will also...
If we basically only do hexes from now on out.
Yeah.
Might use... Do you use Lightning Spear on
mostly.
anything after this?
I will use Sunlight Spear, yeah.
Sunlight Spear,
Nice.
yeah.
And and Solar Piece for some mobs. Yeah.
One thing about the Abyss Seal though is that it does 30 damage to you every time you do a cast, which makes it hard to combine with other damage boosting rings, such as RTSR, for example.
Yeah, combining with RTSR.
You want to have like a balance between not dying to your own casts and doing as much damage as possible.
30 HP doesn't sound like a lot, but it does actually really add up. For any boss fight, let's say you've got 15 casts, say Mirror Knight for example, or something like that, it would probably be about a third of your health gone, even without getting hit. So,
yeah, at base you're probably like, or at the start you're probably like 600 HP or something like that, maybe 800, I'm not sure. But
Cleric has a little bit more than Sorcerer, yeah, but I guess Cleric...
This guy actually dies when you punch him, not just the absolute flair of this road. Like that's...
Yeah, if you had 20 intelligence, he will die from
yeah, it does, 2 shots.
But,
then no flare.
Oh, negative stamina. But now I can punch him as well. I guess I can do that for a double punch.
Double flare.
Double flare, there we go.
Obviously Red is punching to conserve his health.
Obviously. Yeah, that looks about 30 health to me. What's up there?
That's a good fight to get out of the way. That fight can be quite annoying with casting from range, because they're actually quite awkward to fight from mid range. So
yeah, especially for the one with the shield, and yeah, he is kind of hard to get without getting hit unless you can get a good distance from him. Something I usually make use of is to try and both dodge his attack and bind boost at the same time, just to max my distance before doing casts. But he won't always let you do that.
And now's the time where we are tired of the chime we are having, and we're gonna get a better one.
I would say much better one.
Yeah, much better.
Yeah.
Big fan
so
of this
the
upgrade.
reason for killing 2 enemies here is because we actually want to do a parry walk from here.
What?
You will go to the fog gate from your knight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this makes use of another sort of more recent discovery in Dark Souls 2, a few years ago, probably at this point, but we just called ladder warping. He was doing it earlier when we skipped Skelly Lords, but basically what it is that
he didn't do it
when your parry walks
earlier, because he didn't do the full easy skip, because he had to do the backup.
Oh, okay, cool. So this is the first time people seeing it. So what it is that when you're parry walked and you're moving towards the ladder, your character position is actually moving forward, but being able to touch the ladder is dependent on your actual model. So you'll be able to, so as soon as you touch the ladder, your character position will just jump forward to where your sort of logic position is, and you just skip through any solid walls that otherwise would be impossible to go through.
Yeah, it's really useful for getting out of bounds, because parry walking in general is good for skipping essentially whatever you want, because you can move a long way before the enemy will deload, and you can kind of choose when to deload them. But sometimes it's difficult to get out of the kind of bounding box, so ladder warps are super useful for just clipping through whatever wall is in your way, assuming there's a ladder nearby that you can make use of. It only seems to work with ladders.
Yeah, so Red is being pretty careful here with his last jumps, because when you're parry walking and you land on solid ground, the game actually sort of calculates the distance between when you last was on solid ground and wherever you end up to detect how much damage you're going to take from the fall. So if it hit the ground there, you would have died.
Yeah, that would be a one-shot.
I forgot to mention that is probably pretty loud to you guys, but I'm not hearing anything because it's
So on Old Patch, for some reason, doesn't matter what your audio settings are, this boss's lightning attacks are always on full volume.
It's one of the funnier glitches on Old Patch. It's absolutely incredible it wasn't caught in software testing or...
Yeah.
Especially since the default volume is half, so no one realized that Mirror Knight was twice as loud as the default volume. But yeah, that's just how it is.
Also, the reason why we summon an NPC here is not only because I'm a Peach, but also because we need to do the questline of this NPC. And to do this questline, we not only need to talk to him in all these places.
Yes, Rod, that's why I wouldn't balance here.
And we need to summon him 3 times for boss fights, so that was the first time.
We need to update on the bid war really quickly. You know, NASA Marathon this year collecting money for Save the Children. There's a bid war between whether to help Creighton or to help Pate. Pate is at $25 and Creighton is at $10.
Yeah, you'll have about another hour or so before we get to the point where we actually help them. Or kill them, depending on what you choose, or one of them. So yeah, we have still have time to influence who to help. Okay, now Amana. Amana is very known for being a really bad area, but luckily Pararok is a thing, so this will be quite different from the casual experience you would have on current patch. Also, you saw me tube a tank soul there a few times on the elevator, because, well, there's nothing else to do on the elevator, really. So we just used it to get all the souls we need out of the way.
Yeah, there's quite a few elevators coming up. They're essentially long loading zones in DS2. So there was one big one from down to Amana, then there's another one down to Undead Crypt, which is also quite long. And then shortly after, the one up to Dragon Alley is again very long.
Nice, I was not in lock-on range. Well, since Rubel is asking, if anyone checked the leaderboards, I guess you're asking why I have a 340 estimate. The run usually has...
confident I'm getting record.
Yeah. This run usually has 2 farming segments, but since farming segments are pretty bad for a marathon, nice boys at another. Let me skip those. So that will skip around 1.5 hours of farming.
Probably more than that. Probably both.
Right, yeah, probably more.
Yeah, that's if you're lucky.
Yeah, closer to 2
If you're really unlucky and some of them are do farming, at least I once done it in like 3 hours, so...
Yeah, so I'm really bad with Pararok.
There might be people even going above
nice
that,
girl right
so
now.
Not very marathon friendly.
Yeah, it's a very substantial farming section, and it's only for literally 2 things. It's kind of annoying that in a normal achievements run, essentially half of your run will be farming for 2 items that you need for 2 different achievements. It's
really
it is what it is. But...
Okay,
that enemy just parry-walked. Yeah, the enemy just parry-walk can be pretty annoying because she's standing in water, which sort of slows down your rolls and seems to affect the parry-walks. So you sort of have to adjust your timing to do that, and some character models might also be different as well, but usually I think like every runner tries to get down to a rhythm that sort of works for every enemy, because if you try to like adjust it for known differences, you sort of just completely lose the rhythm until...
Right, so this was Amana, all patch version. We just ran through that, picked up the spells, and we're done.
Skip the boss as well.
Yeah, we don't need this boss for any achievement or something, so we can just skip him as well. Just quite convenient. So I can't use the soul too early on this elevator because for some reason it won't fall with me if I do that.
Yeah, it's to do with the way that the elevator speed changes, like accelerates to max elevator speed, and at max speed the item kind of drops back down at the same speed that you're being forcefully lowered by the elevator, so you can pick it up. Whereas at the start, the elevator's going quite slowly. You drop the soul, and it just falls down beneath the map, and you don't get another chance.
Actually, the first time I didn't mess up the 10k soul tube anywhere. Insane. The marathon luck coming through. I think the most I had in a run was 120k here, so we're looking good on souls. I'm on my way to get a gold on Versa right now. Sadly, time wasn't running.
So in general, in this route, the basis is that anything that you can buy from these vendors, you will try to. So any spells that, let's say, you can buy or you can pick them up, since you have to speak to almost all the NPCs anyway in this run, you tend to just buy them, which costs you souls, but it is faster. So most of the pickups, for example, Fire Tempest and Amana, there's just no one that sells it, so you don't really have a choice but to buy it. And similar at Strayed, there's some spells that you can only get a certain way, and you're forced to do it that way.
And some vendors also overlap some of the spells they sell, so we didn't buy Solar Piece here just because it's already bought that from Clan earlier.
Yeah, exactly. And in theory, it would help that these guys drop a piece of equipment that increases item discovery, but luckily... They did it once, actually, for me.
Oh, did you get it? Oh.
Yeah, I got it once.
I've never had them actually drop them in a run. You want them to drop the prisoner's tatters, which gives you a very minor increase in item discovery, which helps over a 2-hour farming segment, but only by like a couple of minutes maybe on average.
Yeah. To limit cheating, I will also do everything I would usually do in run for farming, like buy all the stuff and get all the items to prepare it. But yeah, what did I get here? 16. Okay, just gonna go back to my tool real quick for level ups and improving our chime. Currently it's +0, but we can get a... Fuck. Yeah.
Classic.
Oh,
that's a classic. Okay, I don't know about it. It's not too bad. I only need to go once.
You just have to...
You don't lose that much time, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it's like 8 seconds last optimally.
Yeah.
Assuming you don't pick up the rubbish once you blow, once you realise you've finally boosted into the crate. Yeah, that's fine.
So so when binary boosting, usually in like the first half or so of the boost, you sort of have the same effect as when you're rolling. So you break, and especially on chests, which normally wouldn't break from a roll, but the wooden chests do.
Yeah, wooden chests.
So
kind of sad.
You had to be sort of careful about that. It was especially annoying before, because before Attunement Glitch, because I used to pick up some spell restores in the beginning part of Amana, which is in a wooden chest behind the first building. Yeah. And we would always bind a boost around there, and it was so many times I just hit that chest. It was super annoying.
Yeah, because you have to go fast to avoid getting hit by the archdrakes there.
Yeah.
So
like if you're going slow as well, you'll get hit by the archdrakes after you open the chest, so you sort of can't really... You won't be safe by going slowly either.
Yeah, usually Wildset has a really mean fog gate in front of him. But we can just parrock over it, and then it's easy club. Gonna attack my gun? No. Figured. So you want to parry him to decrease the chance for him going to second phase. Sadly didn't work this time. So now I'll just have to deal with him being...
Yeah, he also opened with a more rare starting attack. Usually that's the overhead, at least for me. So sort of might affect cycles you get as well.
Yeah, I didn't want one. Then I was overly cautious there, but I thought he might survive one and didn't want to risk dying to his range attack. Oh. Yeah. Now I got a King's Ring. King's Ring opens a few doors, but again, that will take a while until I get there. Actually, not too long in this case.
But more importantly, it means that we can now buy upgrade materials.
That's also true. Yeah.
Well, the Clan will sell you chunks. Chunks are kind of hard to get in this game, so where you can, you just buy them. But she won't sell them until you pick up King's Ring. So it's always a nice kind of.
I think it's actually just killing Velstad. I don't think the King's Ring matters, but
it
that's
does,
what the wiki says.
No, the wiki is wrong. I tested this like last week. Oh no, sorry. No, you are right. It's Velstad, not the other way around. Yeah. My bad.
You would always pick up the ring once you killed Velstad, so it's sort of a distinction that doesn't really matter. Yeah,
because I think some of the wikis say it's
Yeah,
it's
well,
when you pick up the king
it
string, it's
matters.
not.
It matters for old patch because you have skips that you can pick up the king string from outside the arena without killing Velstad.
Yeah.
Which sadly wouldn't help you buy upgrade materials because you actually have to kill.
So what I just did on the elevator is also a really cool little detail about old patch. If you roll onto the elevator after sending it down, you kind of hover on top of it for some reason. I don't know, maybe Stern's gonna explain it better, but TLDR is you can jump out of the elevator before it's all the way down.
Yeah, it's essentially a bug due to how it handles your position in old patch. It was patched. It also stops you from menuing, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah,
But,
so you can't use souls on it.
It does mean that you can get moon jumps and get out of you.
Yeah, so you'll be constantly falling and landing on the elevator, and since the game always closes your menu when you're falling, no matter the height, then that happens. The menu will also close in stairs when you're bind boosting, for example, because you're falling down some of the steps.
Yeah, it's quite irritating. When you're trying to menu and you kind of take 2 steps instead of 1.
Okay, usually I would have taken a bow and got the spell from a distance by shooting it. But I don't know, now I just go around. It's not too bad, really. Maybe I'll just start doing that just because I tend to miss the bell all the time I run. Not a good shot, apparently. There's also an NPC in this area. You have to send back. Luckily, you don't need to talk to this guy. You just have to like be high. Then he's like, I sense power, and then we go away. And because he sensed power, he will follow us to Medulla on his own. Don't even need to talk to him.
Yeah, as long as you have the 8 or 10.
Yeah,
required
8.
I think it's 10. Isn't it 10 for him? It's 8 for Falcon.
8 for Falcon.
Oh, okay, I'm on whatever. We have 30, so it's not a problem.
Yeah, we never have less than 14 in because that's what you need for GOS, so
Yeah.
it's not an issue. You start to kind of see the power of GOS in some of these later fights. This is even without the weapon upgraded yet properly. The fights become really very any early game fights just become trivial.
This fight's supposed to be fairly early in the run, so it's a pretty easy club for us now that we are well equipped, you could say.
Do you need to kill Flexile to send Kaihillian back?
Yes, sadly.
Okay, I was wondering what it was.
Yeah, I thought about it and put it in notes without testing, and then I got flamed by Nubis when I did this fun.
Oh, that was probably... Oh, I just realized that was why I didn't move back for so long when we were doing like a bingo race or something.
Okay, well, pretty neat stretch that sometimes works here. These guys
Nice.
follow you around. This guy sadly is about to kill me. And they will interrupt you at this level.
That's a prime example of the inconsistency of scraps. That enemies can just roll right into the middle of it, or sometimes just walk straight through it without getting hit.
Yeah. But it's really nice that it has this knock-over effect, because this was a major dying point.
Yeah, this is a hard place. Because this area is a New Game Plus as well now.
Yeah, so all the enemies are New Game Plus. I think these phantoms basically one-shot me as well. So this boss is... I'm not sure, is he also an Energy Plus? I guess he isn't an Energy Plus. You probably need to aesthetic to bonfire after for that.
Oh, the boss is a new game. Yeah, it's the
and of course I didn't kill
bonfire
him.
down the stairs. Who resets this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured. Okay,
Yeah,
this
his
guy...
bonfire is actually the one behind him, I think.
Yeah, like gargoyles.
This guy is one of these dicks that don't talk to you unless you join their little club. So we need to...
Yeah, he does have stuff.
If I'm not mistaken, he doesn't want to talk to you if you're hollowed as well.
Does it?
Not sure, I don't know. I'm not sure if I ever was solo here. Obviously I never die in my runs.
I think it was him at least.
Navlan definitely doesn't.
Yeah, Nablan's one of those people.
Yeah. Oh well.
Well, Nalan, I think Nalan was the opposite. He doesn't want to talk to you unless you're hollowed.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Damn. This game has too many NPCs.
Insane casual knowledge.
That is some good casual knowledge.
Oh, I mean, it's kind of important for the run because we need to talk to Navlan. And right, that's why we intentionally get...
I've never talked to him in like the last 3 years, but I've killed him once.
How can we dupe this soul? Oh, insane.
Seems what?
Alright, we duped you 400 soul. Into the second turn.
Nice.
Dang, look at this guy. Such slow.
You should have gone for
I'll
the.
probably afford like 20 more levels per.
Alright. I need a bonfire later, again in like 1 hours.
Yeah, near the end of the the first playthrough. Come back
Yeah.
here to tidy up basically the leftover strings that we can do as we were going.
Yeah, what Sudo means for first playthrough is there are some Covenant reward spells you would either need to farm for or are actually impossible to get in offline mode. But so you can get them as single player. There's a merchant that sells them in NG+2. So to finish this run, we have to go to nice. We have to go to NG+2 and go to the merchant. And since there's nothing we do in NG+, NG+ would basically be an 90% run through. Which is kind of neat actually.
Yeah, so we'll spend a lot of time on this first new game cycle, just collecting everything that we can, getting all the bonfires, tidying up as many NPCs as possible. And then once we've done that, there's these 2 spells there's these spells in New Game Plus 2, and there's no other way to get them, so we just blitz through New Game Plus and quickly go to Dragonlit Gate in New Game Plus 2.
I'm gonna pair up, because pair up is cooler.
So the nicely colored warrior there does corrosive damage, which is why Red took off one of the rings, because it quite easily breaks your gear.
That's the ring that usually breaks. Okay, we could try this boss, it wouldn't be hard. I think it's like 4 casts or something.
Yeah, he dies about the same speed as it takes to set up a power walk, but not quite the same speed.
But
This power walk saves a few seconds.
Yeah, it's just cooler.
It's gonna be pretty close, yeah, because you have to go a bit around the arena as well. But
Yeah.
you keep going through the fog gate as well.
Yeah, exactly. And it takes a while to die, so you're stuck on a fog gate until it dissolves after the kill as well. So,
Well, when you're killing from your side of the arena, you basically just make it to the other side by the time the other fog gate disappears.
Alright, upwards elevators, you can't dupe souls on them, I think. Unless this one actually carries a soul with you, but I don't think so.
No, you can't.
Yeah,
on
figured.
any upward elevators.
So the soul will just kind of stay where it is. Get rid of the rubbish here.
It's because all the items will only land once. So as soon as it hits the bottom of the elevator, that's the height it will stay at. And by the time you're able to pick it back up, you're way above it already.
Yeah.
Um,
But I will actually stay there, so like if you dupe on an elevator and you drop it, but you're not able to pick it up, you can take the elevator again and pick it up on the next run through.
Yeah, give it that.
Kinda cool.
Spam
Even through loading screens. It's pretty cool.
The items just once dropped in this game, they stay there forever. Like
yeah,
you can go
which
as
is
far
really useful for
yeah.
old. Yeah, it's really useful for old patch because also items that you dropped will load in before the area. So you can sort of, when you're looking for ships and stuff, you can sort of place items where you want to end up, and then try to like look for ways to get there if everything is like deloaded.
Yeah, there are very annoying skips on this patch for some bosses. They're just straight up slower than just killing them. But they're really cool. You can check out the reverse boss order category on speedrun.com if you want to see those. They're very ridiculous.
Yeah, so all achievements is a good mix of kind of you get a lot of game content, and there's the skips are very manageable in this category. But if you just want to look at very not particularly useful skips, and a lot of them, then you can look at the reverse boss order category, which is fun to watch and frustrating to run.
Less so to do, yeah. Especially two skips in reverse boss order. For the most part, doing a lot of the skips in reverse order stuff are really fun. It's 2 skips in particular for skipping Mytha and for skipping Nachka. Skipping Mytha requires 150 jumps, which you do into a wall, so there's not much content while you're doing that for like 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes, something.
Yeah.
And Nautical Skip, which has quite a few less jumps. There's still quite a bit though, at 62, I think, or 60 is the
Yeah,
It's at 63.
but it's really, well, including the jumps to get on the hill.
You can do it in 60.
But
it just depends.
Yeah,
How
the
careful
only
you
bad
wanna
part about that is that it's really inconsistent and depends both on your computer performance and a very precise angle. So you quite often fail it at like 40, 50 jumps and then have to jump back down and try it again, which takes quite a long time.
Yeah, failing that is definitely a few minutes lost
Ah.
every time you fail, and sometimes it's beyond your control. So
Oh, sadly no crosshair shopping. Yeah. Usually I don't kill the invader there, but he's kind of scary. So I
Yeah.
decided to just kill him this time.
that invader has a lot of tracking.
Yeah, it's insane
If he
tracking
decides to
and a
attack
lot of
you,
damage.
It's a good chance you're dead. So, better to kill him, I guess.
Yeah, and we don't actually need to kill this dragon. It's a really annoying boss fight, so that's cool. We just need to talk to him. He gives us the Ashen Heart, which we need to go into memories. We'll see that way later in the run. And then we're gone. Done with this area. Okay, now we're back here. You might remember it was right after this very hard boss fight called Copious Demon. Alright, here I need to do something again for the Paid and Credit questline. So I'll take a little detour from the usual path. The quests in this game basically work by you talking to people and doing stuff they want you to do. And then they move to another location and you talk to them again and again. And then they move again. Yeah, and then they have some insanely traumatic ending usually. Okay, so what you need to do is go back here. You need to pick up that stuff. Which we usually would buy in a normal run, because there are like actually 2 vendors that sell it. Then there's Paid. And he's very glad to see us. There's the insane detour. I just need to get back on track. Ideally we make the jump here, or I don't make the jump, because I don't jump at all.
That can actually hit you.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. That's not so bad. Not too much of a loss.
Very impressed you know your way around this area.
Well, I looked at it yesterday.
Yeah.
So I don't...
You never come here in any of the speedruns, so
Yeah.
it's a solid casual knowledge.
It's actually an insane joke in all achievements as well. It's the only area with nothing in it that you need for all achievements.
Yeah.
Besides the fact
The
you
only
need to
thing
kill
I've,
Mithra to move one NPC. You don't even need to talk to the NPC.
Yeah, only thing I've done in
Oh.
that little part is because it's like the only upwards elevator in the game that's really close to an enemy. So you can mess around with parry-walking an enemy on that elevator, and when you send them up, then you actually
Nice.
follow his height upwards, even if you're not on the elevator.
God
So
damn
you
it.
can skip so that way, which was the goal.
Okay, Mithra's doing nothing. I hate this fight a lot.
Quite bad.
Yeah, that's bad. Okay, I actually remember to quickly already, which I sometimes usually forget. Yeah, I really don't like this fight. She dies really quick, but you also die really quick, so it's kind of an even match.
Yeah.
Like, I need 4 attacks to kill her,
Definitely
and she
challenge.
needs 2 attacks to kill me, so... I don't know.
You're meant to do, I don't know if you mentioned this, you're meant to kind of do the casual way, and there's a mechanic so you drain the poison, so it makes the fight a lot easier. But that's just generally
Yeah.
slow, so...
Yeah, so to do that you have to light the torch and light the window on fire. In that way stopping it, and that will drain the poison because reasons.
Okay. That was actually a really good example of a nice exception to lock on this game being really weird. Well, they're just 180 no-scopes and they're the enemy.
That looked very intentional, Red, was it not?
No.
That
It was not intentional, I thought I would
Actually
hit
wait
the
a
second
second.
guy with that, but I was too early, and then instead I just hit that guy. Oh. Casually.
Another really annoying part about dying in an old patch, especially when doing hexes like this, is since the soul cost of each hex is 500 and you respawn with no souls, you often have to pick up your souls or pop a soul before you can fight a boss.
Yeah, that was
So
dumb.
you see here,
I forgot to
Red had
pop
to
the
go
old radiant.
pick it up.
Otherwise that wouldn't have been that monker. Wow.
So at these stats, if you get a really good fight, I think it's only like 4 GRS or something.
Yeah, that's
to
4
kill
GRS,
Misa.
unless she heals too much.
She constantly heals, so if it's a slow fight, you're gonna need one more usually.
I kind of forgot to pop the soul again. Don't kill me. Didn't. That's very nice. Oh, we'll get eventually past her, I think. Confidence. Oh my god, just okay.
Oh, good. Just a tiny bit of ladder dance there, but not much.
Yeah, ladder dance is a very nice mechanic in this game.
Yeah, especially if you fail to kill the first mannequin fast enough, then the second mannequin will actually drop a bit closer to the ladder, which will just cause you to not be able to grab it at all until you kill the second one.
Yeah.
I also tried solving this ladder of scraps, but it will just knock them over, and then they will be actually
it's pretty bad.
in the thing, and it will ladder dance for minutes.
The best thing to do actually is to aim it with the binos, but the problem is that it's a lot harder to do than just locking on. But if you do it right, you will be able to kill it just a tiny bit faster.
Yeah, okay. I don't think I ever rolled this attack, honestly.
It's really hard to roll that one, yeah.
At that distance, you could probably have bino boosted it as soon as you saw her running towards you, but you have to run in around a pretty wide side.
I think I'm out of all radiance, so I'm just training the poison. I have one more. Alright, then I'm not doing peach threat yet.
Refusing to burn the windmill here.
Yeah, no.
Another annoying part about burning the windmill in old patch is if you go to the fight pretty quickly, the poison is actually not drained yet, and it will not drain while you're in the boss room. So just watch out for that.
You can actually, it's possible to do that on current patch as well, because it's on some weird cycle. It's very rare, but yeah, if you do burn the windmill and run straight there on current patch, then about 1 in 10 times you'll still get poisoned for the privilege.
I'll just
but it's much rarer.
Human up for a bit more health. Might just help.
That's 6 item dupe, nice.
Yeah, unfortunately you can't do that with souls at all. Well, I don't think it works. You can't use more than one FG anyways, but with FGs at least you're able to use one and then drop the entire stack to dupe them.
Yeah, I tested this yesterday. As you can use 2 souls and drop 2 souls, but you don't get the effect of any souls. You get no souls. So,
yeah.
Don't know why.
Me and Nubers
why that's a thing.
1% in the pad.
Yeah.
If it had worked, it would have been really nice for especially stuff like RBO and also for like old bosses. Probably you might even pick up 2 5k souls just to exploit that. Probably wouldn't in the long run, but it would be nice. That dodged it, insane.
Get him.
I like the
nice, right.
Alright. The main reason why this fight is incredibly annoying when you die is, well, you have like 80k souls at this point, and you really don't want to lose them. So you kind of really want to pick them up before you're like first thing in the fight, and then you lose the opportunity to shoot her a few times.
Did you not pick up that 10k soul in Dragon Lake, right?
Yeah, I did.
I usually use the dragon charm on this elevator, just because it's so slow I can't use it like anywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could have done that.
The method fight is essentially on a bit of a timer. It's a bit of a DPS race. If you try doing that fight without draining the poison with the bad weapon, you're just gonna die.
Yeah.
So her attacks can be difficult to dodge mid range as well. So if you take say 1 hit, and then you're on a timer, if you don't get her killed by the end of that, then very quickly over. So it is a very tough fight, and it's a very easy way to die.
Especially because we're on 87 agility.
Yeah.
So we don't
I think the
basically don't have any
the
items.
funniest fight that had me with that was within a route Sudo was testing at some point that unfortunately did not end up being faster for all bosses no DLC, where we got 2 maces, which would just put Mytha in a stun lock when he did the L2 attack, which was pretty funny, even though it took longer than a good GRS fight for sure, but after the second attack, I think then she couldn't do anything.
Yeah, you can stun on old patch. You can stun like a few bosses. Sentinels also get stun locked. The dual mace power stance. Which the poise damage. Because essentially you were getting the poise damage of 6 R2s at once when you did it. So that pretty much stun locked almost every boss.
Yeah.
Which is really fun if you want a fun way to play through the game.
Yeah. There's another boss I can completely ignore. It's Melter Demon. It's right there. But like he doesn't do anything for achievements, so there's no reason at all. Like not even like Ancient Dragon where you talk to him and he gives you stuff. He's just kinda there. Doesn't protect any item, doesn't give any achievement.
Protects a bonfire.
You don't need his soul to get a spell, like yeah. I think Smell Demon is the most neglected boss in all achievements really. Okay. I was kind of scared about the segment, so nice that we were talking over it, because I would probably jinx myself. Because in my previous PB, before the one I currently have, I lost 6.5 minutes here to just dying over and over to the baby jump to the Dull Ember. And a bunch of other stuff as well. But
Yeah,
we got it first try now.
Dull Ember can sometimes be actually especially annoying on old patch because the Alone Knights are actually affected by your bind boost, so they will run extra fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if one decides to do a stab, they can just catch up to you at super speed and stab you in midair.
I had that very recently. Actually, I was joking with myself. It's quite funny to watch.
That's the reason why I'll always stop the bind boost sort of a fair bit away from the ledge and sort of do like a little circle to kind of stop that Hollow Knight before I do the jump.
It's a very nice that she has one-shots this guy, because getting around this guy is pretty annoying in current patch routes.
Yeah.
But here you can just one-shot him. Okay. For the souls we need to trade in for spells later. We need the so-called old and then something souls, like old pale drake, old something. And those are dropped by the great ones I talked about before on NG plus and higher. So what we're gonna do now is kill Old Iron King, the first great one, and then we'll burn a static to revive him and kill him again. So he's an NG plus and drops this zone. Which is pretty nice.
Yeah. Which is the only reason you need that bonfire up top there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty far away from any path.
Like, not even that much faster to get back to Old Iron King than 12 Red Soul. Well, it probably is, but if you factor in the time to get it.
Yeah, like you would just take the first. If you could take the first one, you would just do that and do the skip, and it would be a lot faster.
Oh yeah, there's also some nice skips to this one.
This is the boss where you get the fizzle quite a lot because your character naturally aims very high. So if you're too close, you'll hit the ground.
So if you want to lock onto him for the entire fight, you have to walk a bit away from him once it's close there. Otherwise, you will not hit him. Ooh, that was sketchy rolling that direction, not gonna lie.
I'm alive, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, I would not be alive on NG plus sign because it deals way more damage. Yeah. So the quote good thing about NG plus sign is that you one-shots you anyways, so there's no point in healing on the way if you get damage. It's flawless fight, there we go, Jeff understands. Yeah. So the reason why we have so many statics right now, and we pick up so many, is actually for farming. As I said, I will do everything as if I would farm. to give a better representation of the run.
Are you going to burn the 7 aesthetics and then?
Not necessarily burn all 7, but I'll buy all the aesthetics I need and stuff.
Come on, man, gotta commit.
Exactly.
I also gotta sit at the Prowler bonfire like 200 times just to do the spirit of it, right?
So, talking of one-shotting, this enemy that got spawned in on the first level between the bonfire and the ground also one-shots you. And it can rarely happen that you go to the ladder, grab the ladder, and before you can slide down, he hits you and you're dead. And that's very funny if you died to NG Plus Oink once, and he does that and you lose your souls, and then you're lost 220k.
Yeah. You can kind of manage losing like 20, 30k, 40k maybe, but once you're in the territory of losing 100,000 or more, it really just set you back quite a lot. So.
Yeah, I think my worst is when in old route of all bosses in DLC, if you died to the Sinner pretty late in the game, you could lose like 500k souls, I think. Which you really needed. You didn't have a plus 10 or full 30-30 stats.
No, oh my god,
dude. That was really pain. Damn, almost got stuck in his fist.
Yeah. That was kind of shaky. Alright. That's the NG plus Oink. Took a bit more hits. It's especially annoying if you die, because on second time he doesn't walk to you, he just spawns directly next to you, so you don't get 3 hits, you only get 2 free hits.
And his position's more annoying to dodge in general because the fire attacks, because he's standing in a different place, you can't dodge them in the same way, so he's got to relearn all the hitboxes. Generally not a good thing.
Okay, now we got Gathering of the Exiles, which is the achievement for getting all NPCs to Medulla that you need to Medulla.
Yeah.
So now I can kill this guy.
A long time ago.
Yes, exactly. Because his armor he drops gives you additional souls on kill, just like the ring reward. It's another 20% without the head. What else do I have a level here? I forgot. Oh, attunement.
Yeah, luckily for our part, the hat is like the one that gives the least.
Yeah.
I think it's on like 2.5% or something.
2.5%.
Like pretty minor. So, but having the rest of the gear can be really nice for getting a lot more souls from bosses.
Yeah, usually if we're going to kill Morlin, we'll do it immediately so we can get the benefit of the souls throughout the run. And in a lot of runs we do kill him, but unfortunately, because of the Gathering of Exiles achievement, we have to wait until quite late in this game, in this category. It's the only one where we're constrained to not kill Morlin immediately.
Like last guy we needed was Gilligan, which I actually didn't see, because that guy just moves if you kill Nefer. You don't even need to find him in Earthen Peak.
Yeah, you can find Gilligan on the outside of the peak, like on a little ledge on the outside of the big windmill, but luckily you don't have to talk to him for him to move.
This Lucatiel is the second, we saw her a few times already, but it's the second NPC I need to talk to a lot and summon 3 times for the questline.
It's the third one you found, right? Third Lucatiel.
Yeah, that's the last time we talked to her.
Yeah.
Now we just summon her 3 times. She's very helpful against Sinner, especially NG Plus Sinner.
Yeah.
Luckily, NG Plus Sinner in this category doesn't have the extra enemies. Oh. Insane snipes.
That barrel is notoriously inconsistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking, but the coding of this thing. It can go into the wall at full speed as designed, and then just stop and not.
Yeah, that's kind of the funny thing actually. Like the barrels that probably look their very best often don't explode it, and then you get like a meme barrel that bounces between the walls left and right, and slowly hits the wall and then explodes.
Slowly approaches. Yeah. It's a lot more of an issue on current patch. Because it's used in the Evil Bosses speedrun,
and also.
And basically, if it doesn't blow up, it's either a big time loss or more often than not a reset. So, notoriously bad in current patch that power.
Yeah. Well, this guy gets an achievement if we upgrade stuff at him. So we do that. Also we get the what's it called?
Smith for life.
Yeah, another one. Maximum
Yeah,
weapon upgrade achievement thingy for +10 weapon. Because if I only had a +8, well, only still dealt quite a bit of damage.
Yeah.
Now we have +10. And this will also be the first time we summon Look Deal here for the Rotten.
The NPCs actually aren't very useful in these fights, except perhaps at Sinner. But you are required to have them summoned when you kill the
Yeah,
boss.
they don't even need to enter the fight before you kill the
Yeah,
boss.
they just need to exist. It does mean the boss will have a lot more health.
Yeah.
So you see here, this damage is essentially maybe not quite half, but not far off of what we would be doing if Lucatiel wasn't here, not really helping.
Yeah. So the mechanic with the NPCs is basically the same as when you summon other players, that they reduce the health of the, or like increase the health of the boss, depending on how many you summon.
As you can see Lucatiel's not doing very much here. She is, however, losing all her health, so probably poisoned.
Yeah, and you need her to survive.
Yeah.
And she came in time to draw aggro, which is always nice.
And you can see Red's health in the top is getting very close to death. So you always got to be aware of stuff like that when you think the fight's almost over, and then suddenly you kill yourself by casting. So
does Rotten have hyper armor during the grab? Or can he grab Lucatiel?
I don't know, but he definitely has.
Also.
I think
armor.
he can grab, and he almost certainly does have hyper.
Yeah, he does have hyper armor. So I'm not sure if I actually finished explaining it earlier, but there's a boss called Rendering. It was the guy running around past the wall, if you remember. And he takes less damage the more giant souls you have. Like each giant soul halves
a lot less, yeah.
his resistance, yeah. So it's
yeah, I think every giant soul you get doubles the amount of damage you do. It goes from like it starts at a 32 times reduction in damage, and decreases from there. So having no souls is basically, yeah, you'll be there for like.
Your weapon will definitely break before you. Before anything happens.
Yeah. That's why we aesthetic this again. To get the giants at the bottom, to drop with another giant soul. And on the way we just do this.
Yeah. That's something that they patched. This kind of mechanic of respawning those giants underneath and then killing them again to get another giant soul. To kind of farm up to 5 giant souls rather than having to do the other way, the intended way. That was patched, but unfortunately on old patch, since you have to burn ascetics anyway, it's quite good for just getting an extra giant soul easier.
Oh.
And the giant souls are basically required, otherwise the fight's at least twice as long and probably worse.
The alternative is going through the other giant memories and picking up the soul at the end of each of them. Which on old patch, because of Bind and Boost, normally is just about the same speed. But again, since he has to ascetic anyways because of Rotten, it ends up being faster just killing the giants more times.
A moment to remind people about the bid war that we have going on between helping Creighton or helping Pate. Creighton is at $30. Pate is at $25. Your donations that during NASA Marathon go to help the children, save the children, excuse me. I mean, you're helping the children, Save the Children organization. And you can donate to that bid war. And you have $5 to tie it, $6 to take the lead if you are a fan of Pate. And there's one relevant donation I want to read there. Yeah. There's a $5 donation from Jeff that says, "I don't trust Creighton. He gave me a rusted coin."
Okay, that's actually quite an insider. But yeah, sorry, I kind of forgot about the donation, so oops. But yeah, thank you for reminding. And I think what Jeff is referencing is that due to the long farming segment we do, we had to get items. Kind of forgot to buy stuff from this guy. Pseudo went into Cheat Engine to look at how item discovery works in this game, which is a stat that is increasing your drop rate. And there's an item called Rusted Coin, which is supposed to improve your item discovery. But on old patch, that just isn't the case. It just does nothing.
Yeah, as far as we can tell, the code just doesn't exist. The description says this will increase your item discovery. You use the coin, you get your item discovery is increased. Little symbol, and then your item discovery isn't increased. It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
But it is, however, patched on current patch, so you know they're not lying
That's-
to you on current patch, which is nice.
So they noticed. That's cool.
But it is annoying because that extra 100 item discovery would be really very useful for the farming
Yeah.
section on
Yeah.
old patch.
Yeah.
It'd be a very big boost, but yeah, can't do it.
Oh. Yeah. The reason why we're doing these dungeons, by the way, is for once you did all 3 dungeons of this covenant, you can fight Dark Lurker, and I mean, on one hand, it could give you the full dedication to a covenant achievement, but it's also because Dark Lurker just drops a soul that we need to trade in for a spell that we need for the achievement. And that's the
so
reason why
Dark
we went
Lurker-
through all 3 dungeons.
Yeah, because
One spell.
otherwise there's a skip you can do from the, especially the dungeon in Dragon Lake, that goes directly to the Dark Lurker fight, which you can then start from the inside.
Yeah, that's a really nice skip.
So if you only need to kill the boss, then you skip all the other dungeons.
Sadly, you both need to kill the boss, and you need to get headshot.
Headshot,
Insane.
double headshot.
Out-arching the archer.
I'm being very passive here. This dungeon it can be very bad if all 3 of them start attacking you at once. These enemies, they only give you not that many souls, like 2,000-3,000, but they're very strong. I mean, you see they're taking 3 GRSs. The Dragon Rider fight is, 2 and a bit GRSs, so most of these enemies are stronger than almost all the early game bosses, and there's quite a lot of them which you have to kill. You can't get away from it. So this area in casual is notoriously rough. And then you have to
Yeah,
pay
the
a human FG every time.
Dungeons is designed in a way that they don't even scale with the New Game Plus, I think.
Yeah,
So
that
it's sort of
makes
like
sense.
just an area you take some time when you're playing the game, might not even be the first playthrough, because they've sort of made enemies to be very strong.
And a lot of
And
them can
especially
easily
those 3
one-shot you.
guys, yeah. And those 3 guys you kill at the start can be really annoying when you have the archer like shooting into the hallway and the ghost shooting force at you, knocking you over.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the 2 dungeons. The 3rd dungeons we will do way later. The main reason why we do these dungeons so much earlier is because the guys in the dungeon can drop aesthetics, and that can help with the farming segment again. Otherwise you could do them basically whenever. I mean, this one's kind of on the way. Like, there's no reason to kill them really early.
Yeah.
Or
Our character's not really going to get any stronger, so
yeah,
there's no
that's
harm in
true.
doing them here. And yeah, Red's example there was very clean in both dungeons. So they can go a lot worse. It's good to get them out of the way for sure.
Oh, this looks like a good Nashka fight. I'm impressed. No! She dodged my disrespect punch.
Shouldn't have said anything.
Oh, that was very rude of Nashka. Just dodging my disrespect punch. But yeah, we should close the bid wars soon, so don't donate towards that yet. We're coming up to the area where the guys will have their little deathmatch, and we will help them out. One of them. Certified no red strat. There we go, always works, unless it doesn't.
Works every time.
There we go, nice item here. And we will fight the next red boss. The red boss at the start was just the beginning, and this one is very interesting.
This is another very annoying boss, like casual playthroughs.
Yeah.
The speedrun here kind of makes trivialize a lot of these bosses, but this boss in particular, and the other rat bosses, can be very frustrating. there's 4 little rats that will toxic you if you don't know what you're doing, and toxic in this game will kill you. So
Yeah, and this boss will heavily depend on what weapon choice you have, because not being able to kill those rats quickly can just absolutely destroy you. Because they do toxic damage when they hit you,
That's
and
right.
just
It was pretty clean.
Also, a really clean fight, yeah.
yeah. So it looked really easy, but I promise you, if you play this game, you will probably die quite a lot there.
Didn't even
Those
get pushed
little
by
mini
the
rats at the start, which don't really have much health, do an awful lot of damage, and they're quite low down, so they're annoying to hit, and there's 4 of them dispersed throughout the fight, so without something like solapedes or scraps, that kind of makes it a lot easier. It's difficult, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So,
Kind of shows you how OP this character is at the moment.
oh, we should close the run now, I guess. Because it's coming up really soon.
Absolutely.
Alright.
I'll let you know what the result is.
Yes, please.
I forgot about this one. Is this the first or second Ben Hart summon?
This is the second. Mirror Knight was the first.
Second, yeah.
Ah, Mirror Knight, yeah.
You are
let's see how-
helping Creighton, who won with $30 over Pate, who only had 25. So Creighton is the victor.
Nice.
Oh, then we can
Good choice.
kill Pate.
Are you gonna
He's
kill him
good,
with
man.
GOS, or are you gonna kill him with like a mace or something?
GS might be too
Oh,
quick.
try and punch us all the way.
Yeah.
GS might be way too quick. Don't get
Yeah.
enjoyment of the fight if I do that. So I guess
Cast
I'll
some
just
scraps.
get some.
Start knocking him over.
Oh. And then another little.
Oh,
So, a
One
lot of
for
people
one.
say this is like the easiest fight in the run, and how could you ever die to such an easy boss? There's a couple of these bosses in Dark Souls 2.
yeah. That hollow in the middle there was a good example of why you would die to that boss, because it just went straight through the scraps.
Yep.
Didn't care at all.
It's this boss you can easily die to on in speedrunning.
Oh, and thanks,
the-
Benhart.
Oh yeah, Ben
job,
Hart doesn't
Ben Hart.
reach this fight, which is quite good. He's no help other than making the boss harder for more health.
Yeah. I redid it. Just gonna talk to this dude here. Seems fairly nice. Talks about sins and stuff. Gives me some miracles.
He charges you so much money to absolve your sins, it's actually ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of souls sometimes.
I'm not sure. Do you know what it's dependent on?
It's your levels, I think. As well as how many characters you killed.
Okay. +0 mace, let's go. Okay, Pate. This is your worst hour.
Should have gotten Resonant Weapon.
Oh, we're pretty smart.
He's quite tanky actually.
Oh, you don't hurt my body. Oh, I accidentally hit Creighton. Well, that doesn't really matter. And Creighton hit me. Oh, that's a nice retaliation. I guess we're up enough, right? You can just let him duke it out now. Alright. Go, Creighton. Hit him! Ooh.
Didn't someone do an analysis on how often each one of these win when you just let them fight
I
themselves?
think so. I think I've
There are some stats on the wikis. I think it depends actually on NG cycle. I know that the one who wins most often on NG loses most often on all IRNGs.
Oh.
Very interesting. I guess we can punch.
The more you know.
Jump in.
Creighton's getting pretty bullied here, to be honest. He's not done much damage at all.
Yeah,
There we
come
go.
on.
That Chime Punch actually didn't do that much less damage than your mace.
Yeah, right. Actually, ridiculous. Let's hear the victory speech. Talk to me.
Just pick up his spear.
What
It's
do
a
you
good
mean, serves you raid? I did it. Thanks for that. There you go. Now we get a Seldor Denki, which you don't need at all.
Yeah, I used to think that was really important, and
Yeah,
it's really not.
the crit boosting
Oh.
gloves. Or,
Yeah, and then Enchanted
which
Gloves.
I guess don't have any effect on hexes. Probably. Or do they? Not sure.
Oh, I mean, like, you could test it, but I sincerely
I think I
doubt.
might have, but it's so long ago.
Pate deserves to die. Yeah, I fully agree.
Oh,
Strongly on the Kraton camp.
okay. That's another fun part about it. You think you're fast like that, you can just run through
Huh.
doors that break.
I never knew that.
Oh, really? It's
Not
really,
shocked.
it's really nice.
It sort of depends on when you start the binary boost.
Yeah, I don't know if
If you go
I
late in
already
the binary
noticed
boost,
this.
then it doesn't work.
Yeah, Pain user shield, whatever. Peach. Yeah, some skulls to get all these spiders on one place. Oh, I forgot my arachnophobia running. I usually give that.
It does the fast attack. Okay, no fast attack. Good.
I'm kind of running low on life chunks, but that's okay. Actually gonna use the insane herb we picked up. I don't know how long ago. I don't have a time on screen. I just started to run it, Melancher. We bought a herb.
So
We use it
you
here.
can see how useful these 30 casts of GOS is. That's the first herb we've had to use, and even then,
Yeah.
you technically wouldn't have to use it on a perfect fight.
No,
so.
I think it would just fine, but yeah, it's nice to be safer. And not have to use the spell source during a boss fight.
Yeah, Freya's a bit annoying.
Oh, I
when
didn't change my
things go wrong.
spell. The sad thing about this route is that Freya will always, on NG and NG plus actually, survive with like 16 health. Once you're done with GRSing her face. You can only damage her faces, by the way, that's why you have to kind of run
Yeah,
around like
Freya's
this.
hitbox is pretty annoying.
Yeah, especially when she starts the laser attack and stuff like that. because,
Yeah.
as you see here.
And then you can cut off one head, and then you can
Right.
only hit the other head. Then
Yeah.
it's...
So just in case you thought you wanted to go fast, they've put a nice mechanic in to completely avoid that. So you can never do well in this fight. Because even if you get a lot of attacks down, it'll just take the head off and stop you doing
Come on,
anything.
Red, Chime Punch, you can do it.
you want me to go for it? Alright. No!
No!
Alright, I'm not going for the chime punch.
Oh man.
Commentator
Freya's
trying to
also-
kill me. Oh, that was...
Rough fight to do from melee.
That was her head rolling around. That was kind of funny.
That
Yeah,
was really
you can
bad.
play football with her head when you take off. It's good stuff.
Yeah, very important casual knowledge here. Gonna have to kill this guy sadly. I think it's also a key that we actually need, unlike the key Kraken gave us.
Don't forget that one, Red. That would be bad.
I just do it before I do the bonfire.
I think the last time I forgot to kill that guy. Oh no, I actually killed him. I forgot to pick up his loot.
Yeah.
And I lost 8 minutes or something. It was not fun.
Yeah, like...
Because
It
there's no way
wouldn't-
of getting the key. The game deletes the key and then you can't get it. So you have to basically respawn the entire area.
It wouldn't be
the
as
entire
bad...
area again.
Oh, I forgot actually to NG plus this area. It wouldn't be as bad in this route. I'm doing a different route
Yeah.
than Suder does. Because I aesthetic it and Suder just does everything in NG plus. So it doesn't have to double aesthetic all the great ones. But yeah, like I aesthetic the area anyways, so I respawn in anyway, so it wouldn't be too bad for me. But yeah, in Sudo's case, you need to kill NG plus plus for there. Get back there. And also you didn't have this bonfire, right? So you had to get this bonfire
had to
first
go
too.
and find the bonfire, burn the aesthetic, go back,
Yeah.
kill an extra boss, and then kill him, and then pick up his loot. Which shouldn't actually take 8 minutes, but I didn't know where this bonfire was.
Yeah, sadly you have to actually go to the correct bonfire. You can't aesthetic any bonfire in an area and we'll respawn the boss, just to be a specific one. Yeah, that's why we need a key, a chest right here. With some stuff in it, we only need the spell. Pyromancy.
Great fireball.
Great
Chaos
fireball, yeah.
Nice.
Right. Some more skulls, and we're off to Freya round 2. Well, the same fight.
Yeah,
Just
the fight's
actually-
gonna be largely the same. I assume these still die to 1 scrap, these spiders.
Yeah, really.
Big game plus.
It's like really
That's good.
a copy of the fight, but she has more health. Nice, actually hit her before she does the laser. It's fairly rare.
Yeah, it does seem almost random. I mean, I guess it's a timing thing, but
Yeah.
it's so easy. And even sometimes you aim locked on at her head, and it hits like a few pixels left of her head, which does no damage.
Yeah, that's what usually happens. She raises her head and then don't hit her. Oh, got another head cut. Oh, she still attacks with this side. Come on, give me your head. Just laser again. Wow. And the best thing
It's a
is,
fairly annoying fight.
as I mentioned, just as energy, she will survive with like no health again. Yeah, there we go.
So the GRS has a little bit of tracking, so you see that when she raises her head, it sort of curves a little bit upward, but it's so slow that a lot of enemies and bosses and everything can very easily dodge them by just walking sideways, for example, at a slow pace.
Right.
Okay, so that's 3 of the... Did you kill Rusted in New Game Plus?
No, not yet. I do have a Sunlight Spear.
No.
Oh, right, okay.
I'll go back to later, Sunlight Spear. I don't
Nice.
think...
Yeah, no disrespect potential, unfortunately.
Too risky, she one-shots me. Unlike the NG Freya. Wait,
I've been
that's,
forced to do it once because she did the jump attack and pinned me against the wall. So I couldn't shoot because it fizzled.
Oh my
So I had
god.
to punch.
Amazing. Okay, now we need... he gives us a bunch of stuff. We actually need the branch as well, but mainly here for the gesture. Right. Right. I wondered last 2 weeks why I do the segment before Los Bastille. But yeah, of course, you need a branch to patch for straight. Haha, my routing makes sense. I just didn't know why. Alright,
Yeah, for those who are just coming in here, the way it's running so fast through all these parts there is a glitch called bind boosting, which it only works on old patch, where you basically do an attack at the same time as you roll and look through the binos, which can give you a really large speed boost for a few seconds, and you use throughout the entire run.
yeah, it's fairly large.
So on old patch, there's 2 like really major glitches. There are other ones, but 2 kind of like dominate the routing and stuff. And obviously, Binary Boost is one of them compared to current patch. So you can just run away from basically every enemy that's bothering you. And the other one is Parry Walk, which we haven't had many Parry Walks for a while, but you saw it earlier. It's the one where you walk on air into the darkness and stuff.
On air, out of bones.
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
And Parry Walk is kind of like both the best and worst thing about this game. It's not an easy glitch to do fast, but it does mean you can just skip essentially anything you want if you know what you're doing. So it is very useful in old patch, but it's not easy to get. So you kind of sacrifice this consistency for
Nice.
ability to walk on air, which is quite nice.
Alright.
Most of these big glitches were patched, like roughly with the release of the first DLC of Dark Souls 2.
Yeah, since like the tune glitch is still a thing on
Yeah.
on current patch, and I guess the insane peak out of bounds.
Yeah, a few like minor out of bounds, but
yeah.
nothing really game
That's
breaking.
better.
Basically, any skip you do here that is more than just doing a jump, you can't do on current patch. There's only really minor things you can do, like jumping across the wall in by the poison pool before Jabba is one you can do and still on current patch. Stuff like that.
Soul Piece is really nice here, because these guys are incredibly annoying.
Yeah, the guys by Strayed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very another very frustrating area in this game when you just want to go and collect a nice bonfire, and suddenly there's enemies that stagger you, blow you up, and there's
and these do a lot of damage, especially if you haven't leveled Vigor much at this point.
That's a nice gas. Solar Peas is a bit unreliable. Sometimes these guys just survive because why not?
Ouch.
Yeah, so you basically get staggered into this cycle of being knocked down onto the floor, and then another one jumps on you.
Of course, and of course they dodge your solar piece when they explode.
Oh yeah, and they have no hitbox when they're in the jumping animation, which is always that.
Absolutely awesome. Alright.
So even with overpowered solar peas, you can still die here. You try this with a melee weapon, and it's a lot less fun.
Like.
And it's a shame because you're so close to the bonfire as well.
Yeah, just behind him.
Yeah, just need to click it. But sadly, straight needs a while to unpetrify, so I can't just run through it.
This guy that we're unpetrifying here is like pivotal. You get so much stuff from him in this game for all achievements, because some of the achievements are, well, the 3 or 4 hard ones are collecting all pyromancies, sorceries, hexes, and miracles. And this guy's got essentially all the unique kind of spells that you can't pick up or buy from anyone else. This guy has them.
Also, there's a gesture, so you need him for a gesture as well.
And a gesture as well, yeah. So yeah, he's pretty useful.
He
can actually be killed by the enemies, but that's really not a good thing, and hopefully we won't see that. If you leave too many of the hollows alive and they start jumping on straight,
yeah, that probably gonna be fine, but that might be more scary now because he did.
Because he's alive, yeah.
Yeah, because he's alive now and he still has to kill the dudes up top. Was a tiny bit too far away. Oh, dodged it, nice.
Dodged and dodgeable. Legends speak over it. Alright. Now it's out of the way, luckily.
This is the bonfire we come back to later. And it's another very odd bonfire. As soon as you warp here, these enemies start running at you.
Actually, if you don't move immediately, you have a bit of time.
Yeah, you need to move like a fraction, but...
Yeah. But whether you want to come here...
If you want to get speed to strayed,
yeah, you have to come here with solar piece on ready.
Yeah.
Otherwise you'll have a really bad time. Okay, I need this one for to aesthetic. The nice boss we will fight now again. It's another great one, so we need to kill it twice again. Or no!
Great game.
Oh.
It's a notoriously bad elevator.
That was a headshot. That was a headshot.
Now is you have to bring the elevator back up again as well.
It loses so much time.
You basically have to kill everyone in the room and then because they do a lot of damage as well, so he dies in like 2 arrows or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of annoying.
It's
luckily my results up here, that's something.
So that if it didn't actually get headshot there, it would be fine because the headshot makes you do a super long limbo dance there.
Limbo stagger.
Which pushes you gradually backwards, and he was just barely fell off the ledge.
No.
It was actually stupid how close that was.
Oh, it gives me time to human up because we need to sound Lucatiel here. Oh, and I could also do it on the area and pick the FPGs up for the Inch Plus cycle, but let's pretend there's an upside. Let's pretend there's an upside. It's always good. Alright.
So if you want to avoid this elevator, normally when it gets to the bottom you send it back up in case you die and stuff.
Yeah.
But if you get a headshot off the elevator, you just slowly watch the elevator go down and then you die and then it continues going down and you have to pull the lever. It's just an awful situation and there's not much you can do about it, unfortunately. You can get like bigger shields to block the headshots, but they attack you from all angles as well. It's just a fairly unfortunate place.
4 guys around the elevator shooting, and you're like on your own, alone and sad. It's not a good situation to be in, wouldn't recommend. Unless, of course, you want to go fast and getting all achievements.
Or, in casual play, can recommend just killing the enemies there.
Yeah.
Make your life a lot better. Going fast and sacrificing
and that is why Lucatiel is so insane. The moment she crosses the fog gate, Sinner just goes there. Like, she doesn't even look at Lucatiel. She doesn't make any sound entering the fight, but Sinner's just I don't know. I feel like there's something personal going on between her and Lucatiel. Right. Yeah, we're gonna do the same thing again, but with a stronger Sinner. And we're gonna summon Lucatiel again.
So
She's
again,
just
yeah, we're going
so
into
helpful.
the new game plus here, so everything's harder, quite a lot harder. And here the summon won't actually do any damage, but they will be good at like maintaining aggro. So Lucatiel, even though you're miles away from her when you enter the fight, she will just gradually enter anyway, and then you can just wail on Sinner, which makes your life a lot easier because fighting Sinner with hexes is quite awkward.
You can also
I
just
like that
die. Yeah. I had that
I
RNG
like
once.
that, the royal soldier behind you also shot you in the chime from behind, so you blocked that one as well.
Yeah, there's a very rare RNG where he just gets his sword out immediately and actually hits you before you are out of range by going down with the elevator. And it's also very nice stuff to have. Yeah, I know.
So Red, you were saying you don't get the phantoms now?
No.
Because although this is New Game Plus, the game state as a whole, I guess, is not in New Game Plus, only the area.
Yes.
But in actual New Game Plus, as opposed to nearly actual New Game Plus, this boss, there's these two ads that kind of pyro ads that come and start spamming fireballs at you, and they will roll everything you do. You pretty much can't kill them with hexes, because as soon as you press shoot hex, they have an auto roll mechanic, so they're really very annoying. Fortunately they're not here, which makes this fight a lot nicer.
And you can see here Red having some issues with the lock-on Sinner.
Yeah.
That's because this fight in particular has sort of a added element that they want you to light fires on either side to light up the boss room, because in sort of pitch black, which is as closest you get to this in this game, then the lock-on range is quite a lot shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad. I had a lot of trouble with this fight before I just summoned Lucatiel for NG Plus as well.
You can have the same issue with the Gulch Giants as well, because they're in a very dark room.
Yeah, that's why I just used like looking through binoculars. Looking through binoculars aims your spells for you basically.
Luckily, they are very slow and don't jump around like Cinder.
Yeah, that's the big advantage. I finally have a Pyrock again.
Yep.
In a while.
First try. Nice.
Of course.
That trick is quite hard to pull off. Something very hard to pull off consistently.
Yeah, so it doesn't take much to do it. It's just it's basically just 2 button presses, but it's a very short window in the timing between those two. It seems to vary a tiny bit depending on, for example, surface or the enemy model or stuff like that. So to get like completely consistent with it, no one has been able to do that.
A little bit more shake situation, but we are out.
When will you be getting more life gems actually, Ray?
2 life gems.
Yeah.
That's a good question to ask, I guess.
You have probably like 3 radiant or something as well, but
I have 0 radiance.
getting pretty low. Okay.
If that's the life gems again, I have no healing left.
Can't Estus.
Well, you have the dragon charm.
I do have a dragon charm, that's
Will you
true.
plan on the fight?
Yeah. Usually I
It's
buy
quite
new
hard to
ones
use
after
down.
Nashandra, but I feel like 2 is kinda cutting it close. I used quite a bit more than usual, I guess. Because, like, yeah, mainly Muffer, I guess. Cost me quite a bit. Well, yeah. Probably not a bad call to just go to Madrid now
Yeah.
and buy some.
So life gems in DS2 are a nice mechanic in that for casual play you can get almost an unlimited amount of them, only 99 at a time, and they're not even that expensive, like 30k souls maybe. They are a bit bad, so when you're in like the later DLCs, their healing rate is quite slow. So although they give you a lot of overall healing, they're not very good for if you're in a tense situation and you want to bash out a few Estus chugs. The life gems don't really cut it, but for overall kind of like long running like this, where you just need after every fight, you need to just get yourself back up to full or something. They're very useful, and you in all the long runs in DS2, you can afford to buy as many as you need. So.
Yeah, luckily you can at least stack the life gems, but
Yeah.
it does take multiple uses, so it's pretty. You won't get a lot of chances using more than one at a time during boss fights, for example.
Not first try. Feels bad.
Yeah, I know.
It was just demonstrating how hard it is.
Yeah, exactly.
So people.
I'm really good at demonstrating how hard stuff is.
Yeah.
By failing it over and
One
over
thing
and
you
over.
told me about the jump attack, Red. Probably pretty good to use on this guy since he always needs 2 punches to wake up.
Yeah, you can jump attack all the end. The stone soldiers are the
Big
best.
brain.
This is actually something that I learned from DS1. When you do that silly jump attack on the, well, either on the dragon in Priscilla's area or those little trees in Darkroot, and they don't have an animation for getting up, so they just like just appear stood up. This guy does seem to have an animation, but
it looks really funny on the stone soldiers that parried much earlier for them skip the Mirror Knight, because they sort of just slide up slowly from the ground without any animation.
Okay, luckily we have a generous estimate, so I can... Oh, there we
good
go.
thing you got those extra life gems.
Nice,
You would
first
be out
try.
right now.
First try after healing, there we go. That's also a way to look at it. Okay, the NG plus fight for these, okay, right, we should probably explain it. The reason why we fight these in NG plus is because they drop a ring that increases item discovery by quite a bit in NG plus.
Yeah.
That one's really nice to have for all your farming needs. Like, obviously I'm not gonna farm this run, but...
So the idea is you spend, you know, an extra 2-3 minutes here killing a new game plus gargoyles, and then you save hopefully a lot more, you know, maybe 10 minutes on average or something like that, because you have an extra 100 item discovery for the entire farming section, which is, you know, that's probably like 20%, 30% more chance of getting the drops you need. And so over an hour and a half minimum of farming, you've got, you know, that adds up to a lot of time. So it's a little bit of a time investment here to make your life a lot less boring.
Like the fight can go much faster than this.
Yeah.
This fight is just particularly not fast.
Yeah, it was pretty unlucky with the scraps at the start, so basically every gargoyle here had a lot of health left. Most of them 2, some of them 3 hits to kill, which is basically nothing gained. Ooh, that was close.
That roll there.
Oh.
And then you'll see the reward here in a second, which is the one.
Covetous gold ring plus 2. That's what we want. We could also get a +1 really quick, but it's just worth it to go for more.
Unfortunately, you can't equip 2 of the same type of ring.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Okay. Also for our donation read and background, we will soon have a lot of donations to read. A lot of time. We did not forget you completely. There's a real nice spot for donations coming up. Just after this segment, basically. Here,
Get him in, guys.
we finally get to use the Ash Mister we got like 1 hour ago. To enter memories. And put this guy's questline further. Actually finish it. Dug him 4 times outside of here.
Yeah, so Benhart's questline is quite long. You have to speak to him at like 3 different locations, some of them 4 different locations, some of them 3 different times for fights, and then after all of that, he gives you, I don't know, his sword or something.
Yeah.
Sword equipment or something.
And then the best part is that his sword is not even... Yeah, and his sword is not even the real thing, so...
Yeah, you get like a cheap knockoff of the sword.
It's a fake Moonlight sword.
Actually, insanely rude guy. Okay, here we got another Soul of a Giant for Vendrick again. Another...
So we really want to collect 5 of those. We got...
Yeah.
Did you get 2 from the Giants earlier?
Yeah, I got already 2 from the Giants.
2 from the Giants.
Too early.
Because we didn't get Ancient Dragon, who would also give you one, but he's quite slow to kill. So we've got 2 from those, and then 1 just picked up there. You take your clothes off, Red.
Yeah, you're a bit high equipped.
Alright.
You can't make this with over 20% or some nonsense because the game's. Okay, now it's your position.
Hey, you might want to do the positioning game.
Just spam it, it works. No, I got a
Best thing
shitty
is to
jump.
just do the. You can also do. Oh no. You can also do a binding boost straight up to the ledge.
Yeah, that's what I tried at the
Okay,
start.
take some practice.
Yeah.
I really struggle with that binary boost strat. It's cool and it's fast, but it's so easy to just run off the other.
Yeah,
end
you get used to it in time. The bad thing is in some routes where you have to, for example, switch rings before you go to the ledge, and you basically lose that opportunity because there's no way I'm going to be able to do it while menuing.
Anyway. So this is a skip that is done in current patch. Pretty sure it's not intended. And it means that you just save having to go through this door that you just saw on screen there, which I think it saves like 18 to 20 seconds.
Yeah, that probably
Maybe
lost. Already lost more
like the
because
door
I
is
died.
really slow. So
Yeah. So yeah, it's a really useful skip to Giant Lord. Giant Lord is one of the 3 absolutely required bosses. In order to complete this game, you need to get the Ashen Mist Heart because you need to kill Giant Lord, so those are required. And then you need to kill Giant Lord because Nash won't spawn unless he's dead. And in order to get Nash spawn, you need to kill Duo. So there's 3 things that you cannot get away with without doing. For picking up the Mist Heart, killing Giant Lord with it, then killing Duo, and then killing Nash. So this is
setup. It's good, man. So yeah, if you go through Throne Watcher and Defender.
What?
I had this yesterday. It's great. It's so awful.
What?
It's unlucky. Yeah, I saw it for the first time like literally this week. I also died. This giant here can't get affected by Giant Lord's attack, so you've just got 2 and they don't attack each other. They don't aggro, so you've got 2 enemies on you, and it's like nearly impossible to survive. That shouldn't happen though.
I never saw that guy come.
I've never seen it. I'm probably among some of the people who's killed that boss the most, and I've never seen it.
Yeah. I only saw it literally this week, practicing the split over and over again, and yeah, it's it's a good laugh, but.
Sally, it takes like probably like 4 hits to kill that giant.
Yeah.
Now, maybe actually, yeah, plus 10. You might be able to do it in 2 if you get like good hits. But
yeah,
it does take quite a lot of damage.
Usually you can also dodge the fire damage, but I'm not sure if there really is a pathing with summoning Benhard that lets you dodge it. I don't think so.
Yeah,
no, you have to wait.
Might have been.
Hey, now we got the extra damage and I missed the chance to attack him twice of GRS, so it cancels out.
This boss is very weak to dark. This is on with kind of like double health, and you can see it doesn't last very long. The boss does a lot of damage, but generally isn't too hard to kill. Certainly not with hexes.
Another sort of giant as well.
And it's pretty nice to fight him on the platform there as well, because you have much less camera memes than you do right next to his legs, and the game can't deal with it.
That's the one fire I'm at. Don't walk there.
Are you getting 5 spells, Red, or 4?
Oh, I'm getting 5.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would be, well, I don't know. I guess it would be New Game plus 3 giants if that's what it would do. But the Bendrake fight is like, I don't know, 40 seconds. So I think it's faster to just pick up at 5 souls. That is. So I think it's faster to just pick up a soul than.
Yeah, I think it's faster. Definitely in this category.
Yeah.
So in all bosses on current patch, you actually do the fight now with 3 souls. And you maximize your damage as much as you can. You've got RTSR, Brightbugs going, the whole lot, and it's still like a 2.5 minute long fight with melee. It's rough. Doing it with fewer than we used to do it with 4, and that was like not great. But doing it with 3 is really really
so
good.
that's a clear consequence of the memories being so much slower as well on on current patch, since you can't kill the giant to get extra souls.
Yeah, you can't do the extra giant glitch because it's patched, and running through this memory, for example, without binder boost is just so much slower. Although the fighting Vendrick without the extra soul is only, let's say, 50 seconds more fighting, picking up the soul is more than 50 seconds, so you end up just dealing no damage and just having really long fights with RTSR, so high chance of death at Vendrick in all bosses current patch.
No soul giant here. Also, we talked to NPC, which is like the freest achievement in the whole game, I think. It's just kill Giant Lord, you go into this memory, talk to him, get an achievement. Actually, Vangal is also there.
Giant Lord?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you could just go speak to him whenever. Maybe he won't give you achievement then.
Yeah, he doesn't give you his stuff if you don't kill Giant Lord.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we need to return to this one to get the...
This is another very odd odd part of the quest. You have to speak to him here in order to then go away, kill Giant Lord, and then come back to speak to him here in order to finish the quest.
Yeah, you have to talk to him so you can summon him. You have to summon him to finish his quest line. And yeah, it's weird. It's not really a fast way to do it, but well, at least not that feel fast. But we're going to the credits now.
Nice.
So we'll have a break. So if any of you feel like going to the toilet, hold it in for a little bit longer. I try to not die. I try to get out of these doors.
Throwing duo in this category is very easy.
Yeah, it's pretty much a joke.
Hopefully Red won't die to throwing duo, you'll see why. But Nash is actually quite a lot worse, just because...
Yeah, with
Yeah, go on.
good RNG, Nashandra is trivial, but she can choose to... You really want the lasers from a distance, because you can just walk away from them really easily. But if she walks close to you, she can be a bit more of the issue with casts, and especially if she walks into your face and then does laser right next to you. That's the absolute worst.
If you just do anything, charges you down, and lasers you from point blank.
That's amazing.
That actually happened to me in the last All Bosses on the DLC run I did, but I was so far behind that I didn't care, so I just took it to the face.
Right, so first boss is a double boss run basically. I cast a little bit early, I might block. No. Right. It's a nice dual boss, so we can make it a single boss really fast. With outpatch DRS.
Yeah, so the only really bad thing that can happen in this fight is if Defender chooses to block for a while, you might need a few hits to stagger him out of it. Otherwise you do quite a bit of damage, so they go down.
I don't know if it's a pathing issue,
faster.
but Defender can also block the third cast.
Yeah, you can avoid that if you go on the right hand side of the fog gate. Then Defender kind of walks slightly further to the right, and then you bank left on the third cast, so it doesn't get in the way.
Yeah, I go pretty much in the middle and then just step a tiny bit to the left on the third cast, which almost always works.
So you see the damage here is a lot lower. That's because Nash and Dark Cloaker later on have the
wait,
considerably higher dark resistance.
I should have. I forgot.
Oh, here we go. So this is
no, I just forgot to live jump. So like there's some sort of AI man-up. If you live jump, she will do laser. You want her to do laser, you do it, so you live jump.
Yeah.
It's not 100% consistent, but it's fairly consistent.
It's pretty reliable, yeah. Very useful because the laser's so slow. You can punish it a lot.
Yeah. Don't usually do it because you lose a bit of time, but just to be a little bit safer, it's nice to just ensure you get the laser.
And you could also see the laser twitches a bit when you hit her, and you can actually get hit by that. So not only the visual, but also the
that's happened to me as well.
Right. Do we have donations? Because the credits are unskippable. So
this is one of the worst parts about this category.
Is
a
prime time
6.5-minute section of unskippable credits.
Prime time.
You cannot avoid them in any way because you have to go into New Game Plus here. So.
Prime time for donations. So if you want to plug.
Sure, I'll read out the few that I have. Also, you saying that the credits take 6.5 minutes makes me curious what the longest credits in a game is. Let's look at these donations. We have one. We got a $20 donation from Lurk Chan in there. And shout out to P, who donated to get us to the 200 mark. Their comment was even 200.
Nice.
There's one that was directed toward me, which I will go ahead and vainly read out. Someone anonymously donated $10 to say, Gandare, you are fly as hell. Thanks for being a great intermission. I'm going to say thank you, person, for saying that. And I'll take this moment also to talk about the charity that we are working with. As soon as I reopened Firefox, I clicked the window and everything crashed.
Beautiful.
Unfortunately, no worries. You have time to recover it. Don't worry about it.
Gotta love that. Hey, time to do it. Whoop.
I'm curious what my
Out of
Discord
curiosity,
was.
while I'm getting that brought up, how long have you guys been doing Dark Souls?
For me, I played this one a bit in 2012, but I didn't get very far and dropped it really quick. I really started playing the series in 2016 and started speedrunning in 2017.
Yeah, so casually, I think I only started playing Dark Souls 1 just like half a year or something before Dark Souls 2 came out, I think, and I bought Dark Souls 2 as soon as it came out. But I didn't get into speedrunning until like, I want to say 4 years ago, maybe. That's when I started out with Dark Souls 2 any%. Basically, mostly stuck with old patch Dark Souls 2 ever since, because I think that's the most fun and most different from how we would play the games normally, which is sort of the main thing for me. And Pseudo is a good old timer. They've been a part of Dark Souls 2 for a very long time. I would say.
Yeah, like my experience is similar to Dennis. I played Dark Souls 1 by complete coincidence a week before Dark Souls 2 was released. Blind for the first time. It did take me a week to get to it, or close to. And then yeah, I completed Dark Souls 1 on the same day. On the same day Dark Souls 2 was released, downloaded it, started casualing through that as well. And then it was about maybe half a year to a year later. Like I was watching a lot of the speedruns, but I thought I'd start running with any % current patch, which is probably still one of my strongest, even though I don't really speedrun it much at the moment. Yeah, and then just kind of delved into other stuff for fun, I guess.
Yeah, Dark Souls 2 is a really cool speed game in that sense that you barely have two completely different games in one.
Yeah.
With, like, old patch run and current patch runs don't compare at all, really. Like,
Yeah.
the textures you move through are the same, but that's about it.
Basically, yeah, the fun part is like if you go to like Dark Souls 1, and basically the main thing is, does this run get halberd or not? Sort of the main difference between a lot of types of runs you would do. Well, and this is like you have like 6 or 7 like completely different runs probably. The main thing I guess about the longer old patch runs is they use hexes, and about the longer current patch runs is they use rapier in at least a good chunk of it. But otherwise it's quite a lot different things you can do with the game. Especially since old patch also is so broken, you can do a lot of meme stuff with it. Like we've talked about reverse boss order, for example.
Random boss order.
A lot of firewalks.
Yeah, you can do like random boss order. You can pick up all the late game items basically at the start of the game. It's very good for meme runs. Once you know how to power walk, you can just do whatever you want.
We have at least me and Nubus, and I think maybe Pseudo joined those ones as well, did like a random boss order with random weapon. And that can get quite painful. But you can get like any weapon basically anywhere you want, anytime you want. You can add like all the completely garbage weapons for every boss, and it took like, I don't know, it took like 7 hours or something to beat all the bosses. Suddenly get like great bow on a chariot or something like that.
Oh, great bow is so bad, dude.
I got those links dug up. Let me remind folks once again. NASA Marathon 2020 this year is the first time we're doing the the charity bit of the production here, and donations are going to Save the Children, and it is an organization that helps children get the education that they need in situations where they might not have access to it. It helps give access to medical care for them, and even $1 going into this organization can help provide treatment to children against pneumonia, which is a illness that has claimed lives all over the place. And on the higher end, some of the things they do, when you get into the thousands of dollars of donations, they help construct schools and emergency clinics in order to help kids out there. Kids sometimes suffer really bad in conflicts, and they're young. Let's not put that on them. Let's try to help them out, and we can do that with a few dollars here and there during the event.
Yeah, perfect time actually, because the credits just stopped. Thank you for that plug.
Yeah.
So we can get back into the game after this little thing.
Probably no loser ring though.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, sadly. Not.
If anyone's even more interested, if you play the Scholar the First Sin version, the credits go up to 13 minutes instead of 6.5, unskippable. So,
Yeah, it's actually awful.
fortunately, there's no speedruns in Scholar or in Dark Souls 2 current patch where you actually need to go over the new game, or no main categories. So as soon as you hit the credits, you just stop the timer and quit out the game. So you can you can avoid them.
Plus some
Yeah,
souls
so
sometimes.
there could have been people especially interested to do all achievements in Scholar. There is no new achievements in Scholar, but you could technically do it. It would be a lot slower than this, so.
Yeah, probably like 10 plus hours.
10-hour category, yeah, at least. Because even doing 2 full playthroughs of the game, which is required, is just a lot slower, because you can't binary boost around and skip half the game at will. Yeah, someone asking about cat ring skip in any % current patch. It's no longer the fastest route. It is a fast route, but there's a last year sometime 17k glitch was found, which is a frame perfect way of doing the Pursuer glitch, and that basically saves 40 seconds over cat ring skip. But it is less consistent than cat ring skip, because it's just you've got to do the skip and hit a perfect frame 8.5 seconds or so after you spawn Pursuer, and that's really very hard to hit reliably.
Yeah.
But it does save time, so the fastest world record route now will use 17k, or the 17k Pursuer glitch.
Because we don't have a task for Dark Souls 2, so we haven't really perfectly tested the consistency of it. But
Yeah.
even with a macro, just frame pacing, I guess, makes it even then pretty inconsistent. I don't think we got it over 50% maybe at max.
Yeah, with the macro, I think I
macros,
got about 60% was the best I did.
Yeah.
Just because, yeah, things in this game are so FPS related, like your jump length is going to be related to your computer performance. And if you get some kind of spike, then you won't jump as far, so Pursuer will spawn a different frame, and then 8.5 seconds later is the wrong frame, and then it doesn't work. So it's not the most fun glitch to grind, let's say. I think the best people can do is 10%, maybe less, 5%, 4%.
Yeah.
I never got really above 2 or 3% consistency.
It's not a fun time.
Yeah. Profound still. No.
Was she actually trying to chime punch from that distance?
Yeah, she does that. And her chime punch actually does a lot of damage for some reason.
Yeah, it does, but
It's
she usually
insane.
does it close.
Yeah. Right now I'm just basically cleaning up enemy quest lines. Now that I'm back to Majula anyways. Because I get teleported here after the credits. I was here earlier as well, but that was just because I ran out of live jumps.
Now Red will make use of the token of spite, I guess, that you got 2.5 hours ago or something.
Yeah, soon, yeah.
Or 2 hours ago, yeah.
You mentioned it being after the credits, and we have an anonymous $50 donator that says unskippable credits over.
Thank you. Yeah, a credit skip would be pretty massive for this category, at least.
Yeah.
We have tried, don't worry, but they just really do not want you to skip them. So even glitching out of the arena and coming back and glitching out of
Yeah, so-
credits, they'll just replay.
Or force quitting during the credits
It is-
and reloading. Yeah.
It is possible to exit the boss arena if you warp out at the right time at killing Chandra. Unfortunately, you don't get the option in the bonfire menu to actually go to the New Game Plus without the credits having been played.
I'm just gonna make a quick run through. This is where the farming would take place now.
Guys, pay attention to this. You'll only get to see it once or maybe twice, but on
Yeah.
the real run, you'd see this
About 120
hundreds of
times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Around 120 on average. So
Cool.
you go here. Oh, nice! I got a cycle with no one attacks. That's awesome. It's actually really rare. It happens like 5 times per farming.
It's meant to be a bit quicker than this, but you can kind of get the point.
Yeah, so kill all 4.
Something,
If they
about
drop
killing them
anything,
here?
pick it up, and then you do it again.
when you farm them here, at least like in current patch they added the option that when you join the Champions Covenant, the enemies have infinite respawns, but that doesn't actually work
Yeah.
in old patch.
That's
So
very sad.
you would be forced to use an ascetic every, I think it's 11th cycle?
12.
Like a weird
12.
number. It's 12, yeah, it's
Oh,
12,
yeah.
including the first one, the 3.
Yeah.
So 11 warp flags, and then that's the last one.
Okay, actually, I kind of forgot this part here. If you look at the cross line and talking to
Yeah, so
Novlan.
there's 2 quest lines that Red's wrapping up here. Lucatiel 1, because he's now summoned Lucatiel in 3 different fights, although 2 of them were the same fight. And then you just have to speak to Lucatiel, she'll give her your clothes, and quest complete.
Same jump. No one's ever done it before.
Nice. And now there's another quest line here, which you need to be hollow for, which fortunately we are, because
Yeah.
you get hollowed at Nishandra.
Oh yeah. I hope you enjoyed it if you're the little trailer of farming.
This guy's quest line is actually quite interesting, like as a legitimate quest line, I find. He asks you to go around and kill or coerce the NPCs to give you their stuff.
Well, he
and
wants you to kill them, but you can
Yeah.
get them without killing them normally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, for example, the feather, you can get it. Emerald will give it to you in Dragon Alley, or you can just kill her. But then, obviously, so the idea is you sacrifice. If you go the killing route, you get the stuff earlier and easier, but you lose in that case the ability to level up. So
Well, for a while, she
Yeah,
becomes
until the
a
gravestone
ghost
comes
after a couple hours, I think. is it?
yeah, it's a few hours.
2
I don't know
hours?
how many hours of gameplay. 3 maybe. Of
I think
real time?
I think it's 2.
Okay.
Okay, this is the part where cheat engine comes in. So we will just have to set it up real quick. We'll pretend we farmed. We'll attempt to farm 120 times 4 Falconers on average to get our 30 Sunlight medals.
What was the drop rate of the Falconers again?
6.25%.
That and then
With full items.
Yeah.
You can
Or like
Plus
6
5 or
new
something.
game plus 8 or 7, yeah. Max
Yeah,
new game.
bonfire intensity 8, you can plus 7, yeah. Right. There is 30 Sunlight medals. Insane how fast it going.
Damn.
Just let
Nice.
me.
Oh, lucky they were lying right by the bonfire.
Yeah, how convenient. Alright.
So yeah, each time you kill a Falconer, you have a 1 in 16 chance of one of those medals dropping. And you need 30 of them, hence why the farming can take quite a while. And the 1 in 16 is as good as you can get as well. It's not like we're... Well, I guess you can get up to like a 6.3% or whatever with farming something else.
6.4% of Terras, yeah.
Yeah. So it can take a while.
Okay, and this is what we need the medals for. We need to offer all 30 of them, and because these 2 is a modern game, there's no option to just offer 30 at once.
Yeah.
There are no. This still have a donation or something. This takes around 3 minutes.
You don't even have the guy attacking you. Sometimes
kind
there's
of
an enemy
sad.
that comes and just wails on you. You've got infinite iframes here, well, nearly infinite iframes. So whilst you're doing this, you can watch him fail to attack you,
Oh.
which is at
If
least
you're
a source of entertainment.
incredibly unlucky, you can take you from the side, and whenever you offer during the offer animation, you can push you to the side with attack. And after about 17 or 18 offer animations, he can push you out of range of the altar. It's such a bad meme, man. But
I think
yeah.
a good part also about having to do this one at a time is that it's not like they didn't know that people hate doing this, because they had the exact same thing in Dark Souls 1.
Yeah.
Forgiving humanities to
Sure. To
Tendai.
Quillag's sister. I don't know.
Quillana.
what- I think
Quillana.
isn't Quillana the pyromancer sister?
No, I
I
don't
think
think so.
so. I think the girl that gives you Chaos Storm or something is Quillana. Oh, is he here?
Maybe, yeah.
I heard a roar. Oh, there you go. He's late to the party, but he's coming.
Oh, he's made it.
Oh, it's coming.
That is a very slow aggro. Or
Imagine.
is he even aggroed, or is he just wandering around?
He did the
Oh.
shout. I thought that was the aggro
Oh.
shout. I guess
Is he just
No.
like patrolling the
doing?
area? That's very interesting. A fair lady, there we go. Gandrick knows his stuff.
No, just called fairly. Okay.
Ah,
If
such
he
a nice
goes around
guy.
the room, he'll eventually catch you. If he patrols the entire room. I'm surprised you
Oh,
can't see.
he got me.
Oh,
He got me.
I saw you.
Oh no. How unfortunate. But we just don't mind him and keep offering medals.
It's very tame, this one.
Yeah. Right. Interesting. You never also late before.
No, I normally thought if he didn't like immediately aggro, just wouldn't.
The other thing is that it also actually looks like most of his attacks miss as well. Even when it does the overhead thing, just hits either side of you.
So the reason we're doing this hour-and-a-half farming segment, which was nicely skipped, and then a few minutes offering all these sunlight medals one at a time, is for the rank 3 Covenant item reward, which... Oh yeah, don't forget that one.
Got there.
Which we just got there,
Sunlight
which is Sunlight Spear,
Oh.
which needs a lot of faith to use, which I think Red will be getting.
I already have it,
Um,
actually.
He has it, yeah. 46 faith? Or how much was it?
54 and my hood gives me 1.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Which is the one I need for...
So if you're going to be doing a build for this thing, you really need to pump your faith stats real high. But it does have a cool casting animation, so
That's true.
worth it.
It's very
Yeah.
worth it.
Definitely worth it.
And it does do a lot of damage, like to
Yeah,
like
it's a
Dark
very
Cloak,
good.
for example.
Very
It's
cool.
just, as you can see, it's very slow to pick it up. Usually you'd be investing at least an hour and a half of your
Aw.
time, minimum, with efficient farming to get it. So
Yeah.
Like if this was easy to get, and especially considering attunement glitch, I wouldn't be surprised if they just would have made it into
yeah,
other runs as well.
nice.
Right. Yeah. Shout out to Stennis for finding this insane version of this clip.
Yeah,
Yeah, nice, consistent, easy way of doing
on
the skip.
accident as well, I think, because I only tried to hit the ledge below it, and just ended up overshooting and getting up top.
I still have my scouts equipped. Nice. Okay, this boss fight is not nice.
Going for the one cycle red.
I don't think I will.
Doesn't matter. You can one cycle this boss with Binder Boost, as in you can get to the lever
That's right.
and
Yeah.
pull it, which is important. This is probably too slow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that
the
should
character
be as well.
refused to pull it until
You
well-
sort of have to throw the skull like right at the start of either the second to last or the last boost in order to make it in time.
But it
And
is
you have that
possible
good
to do
cutting
that
as well.
damage. Oh, Sunlight Spear for Chariot, nice.
I also managed
look,
once.
look at the damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
it's
manage to replicate
pretty
it, but
decent.
not too long ago, I managed to pull the lever and then roll to the other side.
Yeah, that was very
Do it
nice.
later.
Just get the skellies out of the way. Okay, now this guy's annoying. Hardest NPC in the world, because you have to say yes 4 times.
Oh my god. Can you get all first try? Oh,
Okay, we're really slow there, but we did it. If you
yeah,
say
you say.
no on the 4th thing, you have to do all of it again. It's terrible. Terrible time. But there's some stuff here.
Some permanent
Also
pieces, yeah.
sells the placebo ring.
We're not really sure if that ring helps in this run. It's not
Yeah.
defined. It may well do, in terms of speeding up the second of the 2 farming segments, which we haven't seen yet.
Yeah,
Well, we will see it, but we haven't even
it is...
seen an example of.
Yeah, so that
I
ring
don't think it really
supposedly
matters.
increases
Just gonna go to
invasions,
inventory.
right?
Yeah, the ring makes it more likely to be invaded apparently. And the second farming segment is...
We're just not entirely sure. It works on the Prowler or whatever it's called.
Works
Yeah.
by killing a guy 30 times. That he doesn't really invade you, he just spawns randomly.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the,
it's not like a normal invasion.
yeah,
So.
that's the farming bit about it. He doesn't, like, he's not there every time you go up to a spot.
Yeah,
It's like 1 in
so for
3
farming
or 1
him,
in
I
5,
guess
I don't know.
Pseudo made a tool, I think now, but we used to look at
Yeah.
the task
Yeah.
manager, and if your computer was fine and healthy, which is not always is, then you would see a spike in the memory consumption whenever like a tiny spike in the memory consumption whenever he spawned in, and use that for seeing if he was there.
That's
But
Vendrick.
it's pretty inconsistent and inconsistent across machines.
Yeah. We had
Established
an insane
rings.
vote between all active, these 2 all-achievement runners, which is Sud and me. And we 100% of votes were in favor of allowing this tool, so... would have thought to reduce MG a bit at least. Without actually changing anything in the game.
So for those not used to Lightning Spear here, it doesn't actually do 139 damage, that's just the second hit. Because the Lightning Spear hits twice, as well as the normal Lightning Spear. So there's one hit that does a lot of damage and another one that does not that
It's
much.
like the
Some-
AoE
yeah,
effect
it's
does
AoE.
another 139 damage. But the main one does, 1,000 damage a shot or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Not that it tells you, because that'd be useful.
Yeah.
No,
I
I
mean,
can't see it. because of the
GRS
second
would be faster here, but Sunlight Spear is cooler, so...
Well, there's
that's
also
what
the
we're
added
using.
benefit that you can stand right next to him and cast. whereas
That's
you would
true,
just
yeah.
GRS.
GRS can fizzle really easily.
Because generally you fight Vendrick from right next to him, you're aiming very high, and it's a notorious place for fizzling if you shoot from point blank.
Oh yeah, that's Vendrick. Will Sunlight Spear again at Dark Lurker right now. I know I just use Sun. Kill all the bosses I want to kill with Sunlight Spear, because it's a nice spell.
A Sunlight Spirit Dark Lurker though is like real nice.
Yeah, that one
Yeah.
is absolute top tier.
Especially when he does the laser, you can stand so much closer to him. Because that's the one thing I do in all bosses Noodle see. I really try to get like a precise distance from him, because then I can start casting GRS when he does the laser before he basically shoots it. Because I know I'm just enough in that it doesn't hit me, but not too far away. With Sunlight Spear, that's really trivial. You just sprint right underneath him and then just keep shooting him when he does the laser.
Yeah.
So we won't get to see one of the coolest parry walks in the game on our patch here, which is the Dark Lurker one, because unfortunately we need to complete this dungeon, so these enemies will get killed.
Yeah,
The normal way.
these enemies are also by far the most annoying ones to parry walk. One of the reasons being that Havel can two-hand his weapon, and you cannot parry that weapon two-handed. So you just have to wait for him to break it.
You just stand there,
Like,
while
it is also possible to parry walk Ricard here, but it's really fucking sketchy.
Yeah, it's not much better.
I was
Ricard is
practicing
tough
that
to
for
kill.
like a super fast strat, but then you just get the Gatling gun and you're
Yeah,
doomed.
I also tried it. I couldn't get any consistency whatsoever.
Oh, of course. Don't these anymore. Because I had to drop them for medals, magic. Yeah, cheers for these guys and then Sunlight Spear for Dark Lurker, which is really cool. It deals a lot of damage, so I could potentially die, but...
Yeah, you lost a bit of health. I might get one shot by at least laser, I think, but
Headshot.
you might survive the
I
orb.
think you'll
Maybe
survive
not.
with the dark defense you've got.
Yeah,
So
so this is what
obviously
I'm
this
talking
fight-
about during the laser.
That fight
would
was
be impossible
absolutely
to do
insane.
with, yeah. It would be impossible to do it like that with GRS, so that was really good on G for Sunlight Spear.
Yeah, that was...
Dark Lurker is actually one of my favorite fights. You didn't get to see very much of that fight there, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Has more than one attack, and it's very hard fight casually as well. But certainly on old patch, it doesn't take quite as much damage from miracles on current patch. But on old patch, Sunlight Spear is just you don't really need to work too hard to get the kill there.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb. Now we kill Rotten a second time. Also with Sunlight Spear, because Sunlight Spear is cool.
You're gonna snipe his arm.
I can try. I'm not sure if one Sunlight Spear cuts it actually.
I probably wouldn't know. Not on New Game Plus.
I don't
Two,
think one,
maybe
but
two.
maybe two.
Probably two.
But not how much more health, yes.
Oh, you have the other arm.
Dagger increase.
I don't know, it was the first arm I saw,
Yeah,
so
it's
enjoyed. Oh, yeah, I would have gone one arm. Oh.
For those who don't know, the Rotten is a very familiar boss to anyone who's speedruns this game on current patch. Since the only % current patch will either kill this guy 4 or most often nowadays 5 times per run. So you get very, very comfortable with this guy's hitboxes. It's quite a fun fight, but you can lose time to bad RNG. But it's a very, very familiar boss, I will say. The idea being that you kill him 5 times to get 1 million souls, because it's faster than going around the map killing the other Lord Souls.
Oh. Can you check the
Yeah,
notes, please, if I forgot something? If I do Belfast Sol now and then go NG, then Straight and then NG plus.
Let me check.
That would be very nice.
Oh, it's like kind of different order from this actually.
Oh, really? I don't know.
Yeah, in the notes it's Chariot after Rotten, but that's fine.
It's whatever, yeah. Not,
but yeah, then
doesn't
Warp to
really work
Straight.
either. There.
Talk to
Yeah,
Kale
Warp
for
to
his
Straight by
achievements.
Olus.
Yeah, you gotta do Kale.
But yeah, because you killed all the.
Wait, have you already done Kale? I can't remember if you did him.
Oh, yeah.
No, you have to. Well, oh yeah, no, you don't have to kill Mission.
I have to kill Shivan, yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Otherwise I wouldn't have gotten to Navland's shop.
Oh yeah, good point.
Alright, so this would be, just for reference, Mad Warrior would spawn here. So we would take the bonfire, we just kind of go up the ladder, run through, shoot him twice with GRS, he's dead. And then walk back into it 30 times. And in between, just sit and stand back up at the bonfire because he doesn't spawn. Kinda sad. Oh, he's not up the ladder yet. It's kinda unfortunate. Oh.
Okay, yeah, you're just missing the Straight.
Okay. Doing unnecessarily risky stuff here. Could just kill these guys, but just iframe everything is also fine, I guess.
Unnecessarily risky sounds pretty good.
Was that a Sunlight Meadow Red?
Oh.
Yep. Oh, that cheat engine.
But I closed it. Are you kidding me?
No, you don't. You need to unhook the
Yeah.
the script.
That's not too bad, so I could just...
So reload it, reopen, go back into the item discovery thing, change it to like Radiant Life Gem, whatever, test it, turn it off, test it with an actual item, then pick it back up, and now you're missing, I think that was Immolation.
yeah.
I don't know if you've picked up anything else that I haven't been paying attention to.
Shouldn't.
As far as I know,
so.
all the stuff you buy is fine, all the
Yeah.
boss souls should be
boss
fine.
souls.
No, I don't think it affects
Very
those.
good emulation. I just drop what we farm from the hidden area as well, which is hidden weapon.
This is what happens to cheaters, guys. This is the punishment.
Yeah. Don't cheat, guys. It's not worth it.
I mean, if this is the punishment for skipping a 1.5 hour of farming,
Can't believe it, of
it
course.
would deter that many people still.
Drop the sunlight medal. Oh no, you can't drop that either. Drop
Prison stone. There we go.
yeah, prism stone's always good.
And then now
Now turn it off.
Just
So
do
you don't
a-
pick up a load of hidden weapons.
all the access of the gun range. Farm. Now close cheat engine. I hope it works. Let's see if it works.
Yeah.
We'll find out. Oh, I dropped into the hole. That was big brain.
You might as well test it now.
Yeah, sure.
Before you pick up Chaos Firestorm and then it's like, oh no.
Oh, alright. That worked.
Cool. Okay.
Cheating is gone.
Alright.
We uncheated, boys.
That could have been a good laugh.
Alright. One more guy to pair rock here.
Nice shot.
And first try.
Nice.
Usually you get a lot of damage of fire. You're supposed to stack like fire resistance.
Oh, there's no enemy here on New
to the
Game.
room. No, there's none. That's the energy plus change.
And New Game Plus, they decide to add an enemy who just stands in this lava, bothers you. This item's already annoying enough to pick up.
Yeah, actually is.
Nice people, if you can't parry walk, this is
You're
a very
supposed to stack
awkward-
like a lot of health and fire resistance and stuff.
Yeah, you go into the water, get iron flesh and all this.
It's kind of miserable anyways.
And New Game Plus, they just add an enemy at the chest just to make sure that you can't pick it up.
Yeah.
Also kind of luckily there, since the paralwalking sort of treats you as you're still in the repost animation. You take quite a lot less damage, and I don't think you can get voice broken at all while paralwalked. So even though you took like a great arrow to the face, it doesn't care.
Yeah. So now straight, as mentioned, sells a lot of stuff, and that's just what he solves. Some of that we have already, but I don't know, I just buy everything because I have enough things.
Yeah.
Yeah, dark. Well, did you buy darker? Maybe not.
And these are the ones that he's trading the boss souls for, so you have to make sure you don't use the right boss souls, otherwise you can't get these. Master of Sorceries, Master of Hexes. Those are
Very
the two
nice.
spells, the two achievements in the top right, which is a good one to get, because if
Okay.
you don't get them there, then something's gone badly
Yeah.
wrong, and then you have to scour the entire map for the one that you missed, which can take a long time.
Yeah, I'll just check
Miracles you
Steam
won't
real
get until
quick.
New Game Plus.
I miss 4
True.
achievement, that's good. I just need to make
That's correct.
sure I have all the spells and gestures.
Yep.
Let's check gestures first. No, that's not it.
Should have 19
Yeah,
gestures.
gestures are there.
Yep. And then it says,
and
make sure you
the
have 20 pyro.
spells- Alright, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We check
6,
here because as soon as you get into
7,
New
8,
Game
9,
Plus,
10,
you lose all your bonfires, and
13,
picking
14,
things up
15,
takes,
16,
you know, half an
18,
hour.
19, 20. And miracles?
23 miracles.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, that's a double, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. There you go. You're good to go.
Nice.
Up to energy plus. Okay, now we get to the any percent run through basically.
Yes, so this is now going to be New Game Plus any percent on old patch is not a very long playthrough. As I mentioned earlier, there's a few things you have to do, which we'll be doing, and that's it.
Yeah, so
And you
now
have,
basically since you don't need any levels or anything to get or weapons to do damage, so you basically all you will do will be just to kill Giant Lord shown to you on the Chandra. That's it.
Yeah.
And you start with the binoculars, so you save another minute of running to pick up binoculars at the start. You already have your weapon. It's all very, very comfy. Although New Game Plus Dark Souls 2 is a bit harder, but for example, Giant Lord, the damage at Giant Lord will be similar to what it was in this first playthrough anyway, because we don't have Benhart there, so
Yeah.
that won't be
It's
hard.
really not
Going
too
duo won't be
different.
hard. Yeah.
Okay. Take this bonfire. Come back here later when we go to Giant Lord. And then we basically return where we came from. Yeah, there's quite a lot of parry-walking skips, of
Yeah.
course.
This is just
there's-
skip everything you don't need, just parry walk past it. And carry on. For example, you lose all of your fragrant branches of yore when you go into New Game Plus, but you don't actually need one in Old Patch because you can just run around this thing.
Yeah, so parry this guy and run around. It's a really weird skip.
Yeah, it's an awkward skip, this one. It's a miracle this
The
skip
worst-
even exists, to be honest.
Yeah. The worst
Like-
part about the skip is the stairs, which you will just come to now, which is very inconsistent to get the jumps you need these two.
Yeah, it's
So basically
actually
what
the
it's doing here is he's squashing beneath the stairs to hit the floor and sort of sandwiching himself in there so that he can jump and maintain the height he gains from jumping. Was good first jumps at least.
You can see it's pretty glitchy what's going on. Your character's actual position, or like internal position, or ghost position, whatever you want to call it, is nowhere near what you can see. It's somewhere else in the ether, getting stuck on something.
I think it's
Yeah,
actually also
right,
the
okay.
first skip in a
You
run
need to go further
where
right, Red.
you build up height, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so actually.
Okay, we need to get back here to load the area afterwards. Should be somewhere around here.
Parry walking is a complicated beast with understanding how
right.
those skips
You
work.
can go a tiny bit further back if you want to the right
Yeah,
side.
the tree's pretty
that,
safe.
That tree, yeah. That should load it in usually.
Yeah.
Oi. Okay, I'm kind of having trouble loading it right now.
So basically, we have to get to load in the next area. There's currently an invisible wall there. We need to get the character to walk on
Doesn't
a
quite
different
look
invisible
like
wall.
you're at 8 jumps, so...
Maybe I jump once too much. Is it possible? Or is it
Looks like you're
rather
too low.
low?
Yeah, you can screw up if you jump once too much, but I'm not sure you are.
I mean,
Try a
if you
tiny jump,
yeah.
Oh, let's try a bit of loading stuff.
and then head back to the tree before there. Also, one thing to be careful about here is if you go too
There we
low,
go.
Oh, nice.
too close to the
Okay.
door, then you can
Yeah.
also get an infinite loading screen just randomly popping up.
Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah, it was
So yeah,
one
guys.
jump too much.
Moral of the story is you've got to make sure your height is really good, really precise, so that in this case, 7 jumps worth of height put you at a height that you can walk on this wall, and the game is like, oh, you must be here, and we'll load the next area, removing the invisible screen that was
Sally can't break parry by will, basically. So you
Yeah.
can't just drop on the ground there and break parry that way and force it to load. Just that way
you can
it...
only break parry walk by deloading the enemy that you parry walked.
Yeah.
Now in the first bit when Red was running around there, that was still kind of quote unquote too close to the enemy to deload him. So we needed to get the next area to load, which was now far enough away that when we walked on ground there, it did deload the enemy and broke the parry walk. It's kind of how it works. And now we do another skip. This is one of Discs, I believe.
And this is
the same
also the
lineup.
same thing, so you're getting squashed all beneath the branches here,
That can happen.
so that you hopefully don't get unstuck, but you just did, and you gain jumps in the exact same way. There's a
Yep.
couple more jumps though. It's 13 total.
11.
2 plus 11.
12 total.
Oh, you're
One up and then
11.
11
Yeah,
right.
it's 12 total. Right.
Yeah, right, 1 up and then 11.
And if your angle is not good here, you get launched early, as you can see. And then,
Maybe my angle correction actually made it worse. Not sure.
Yeah, I don't think you should correct the angle there.
I also
actually.
would have probably not done that, but that's fine.
Also, after you get the first few jumps, you might not want to sprint, but usually doesn't matter on this version, but I think it makes a difference for Nanchka skip. So yeah, a way worse version of this skip that you do for reverse boss order is Nanchka skip. There you have to do 6 times as many jumps, basically, and as you can tell, it's quite easy to get unstuck, even after just 11 of them.
Okay, this should be 11 jumps, so that was an
the idea
intentional
is, but now at a height,
The height looks right. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that looks good.
we're at a height to load the next area in, and that's how these
Okay,
keep
actual
these items.
instant load. I never had it before in
Nice.
EA.
a fast instant load as well.
Yeah, that was real quick.
Not even doing the pitch version from further right.
I always do that further out. Maybe I shouldn't. That looked pretty fast.
It's kind of inconsistent to do it on the left side
Yeah.
there.
Well, it's cool, so you have to do it.
It's fast. I like it. So this is a lot more kind of what like a lot of old patch runs are like. You have these kind of like weird skips and then just binary boosting past everything in the middle.
Basically.
All achievements, you pick up a lot more stuff and you speak to a lot more NPCs as well. And you do get quite strong just because it's a long run and you have to kill a lot of bosses and level up and stuff. But in any % old patch, for example, you just do skip, kill a boss, skip until the end of the game.
Yeah, just gonna skip guide trading again. This was actually faster because I got first try Paradox, that was actually worth it. Insane. Unheard of.
You can see parry walk's pretty broken in this game. But it does make for some very interesting like routing decisions.
I hope that jump
You
wasn't
can
enough.
go wherever you want. And you can go to end game areas like immediately if you want.
Yeah, so the only real limitation restricting you from going wherever you want is sort of that this game has like a chained map queue system, so that the map you can load depends on which map you actually started in.
Oh yeah, that's quite interesting.
So you can't really go from like Majula and go straight into Drang Lake in one go. For example, you would have to go first to Shady Woods area, and from then go to the next area and to be in Drang Lake.
Yeah. There's also one skip that's actually dependent on the map here, on the map stack. The Dragon Rider skip. So depending on how you warped around the world, the skip might just not work. Oops, wrong side. Because the map is just not, like, the highest Tower of Flame is just not in the map key. So you do the exact same thing as you would normally, but you just can't get into the area because it's just not preloaded. It's very dumb. Luckily it's always preloaded when you start the game, so you want to be sure.
I think it just by default, hides happens to be one of the first few maps that's stored. So when you start the game, it just kind of puts you at the top of whatever stack it's got. So you can do the Dragon Rider skip immediately until you start. So it seems going to enough maps so that it gets dumped off the end, and then it won't work until you go to an area that kind of preloads it, like where the Rotunda is, for example, will work. Seemed like a bad jump.
I don't know. I don't feel like that should have worked, but whatever. I'll take it.
That looked like the
Also teenager jump.
Yeah. Baby jump. I don't think we saw about we talked about baby jumps yet, didn't we?
No, we haven't seen any.
Yeah,
G1
I don't think so. No.
Very interesting
It seemed
feature.
very
Of
short.
this
We died a
game.
couple times in Gather, but it wasn't too late.
Yeah, not your baby jump. Insane actually. Okay. Oh, can we send him grocery shopping maybe? We can. So that's like a nice air mine up. I just got to just run off to nowhere.
One of the weirdest AIs in this game. I have no idea why it does that every time, pretty much, and it's very useful. It's just doesn't really make any sense why he would do that, even though you're nowhere near down.
It's really cool. Ah! Okay, narrowly survived.
Yeah.
Plus health.
Not doing the superior 3 boost strats.
Yeah, I never practiced that. Dang, Mildred in chat. When is DS1 remaster glitchless reset?
Hopefully after these 2 AA.
Oh, that's of course possible. Alright, shoutouts also to Catalyst, who at one point...
Mildred, this game has 60 FPS by default. Come on.
Shout out Catalyst, a nice runner, he's probably doing runs right now, who promised if he would fail Chucky Bombs in this one run on Recce pace, he would do this 2A. And
he did fail it, right?
Yeah, he failed it.
Very recently, yeah.
Not really recently. It was the 7th of January 2019, so 16 months ago, and we're kind of waiting. For him.
The community doesn't forget.
Yeah, you'll never forget. You know, there have been some memes, some fanfics, some poems, mostly by me because I know nothing to do all day.
Are you gonna do the new skip, Red?
No, I didn't practice that. I'm gonna do the more impressive marathon version.
Fair.
Okay, so we're gonna get wrecked by this guy.
Did you time?
Oh, that was a really bad attempt actually.
Did you time the new version actually, Pseudo?
Nope.
Nope.
I should. I think I might have half timed it.
I'm curious.
I don't know. I just think it's impossible for it to be slower, so I didn't bother timing it.
Yeah.
But it is. I guess it is actually possible. But
5 jumps.
yeah.
Sometimes you
I
would
should
be
time it.
surprised,
A
but
live
I
jump.
don't think so.
Okay, and then 3, 2, 1. What are textures? Alright. So this skip is very easy, as you can see. You see a lot. Oh, but I mean, we can make it work somehow.
This is kind of like the realm of brokenness of DS2 old patch now. You just run across areas of black and then just jump and load into wherever you want to go. With some restrictions, but it's very easy to get lost, as you
there we
can
go.
see. Particularly here.
I wasn't lost, I was just taking a detour.
I get lost here all the time. You can hear the tree,
But-
which helps.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
hear
you
the
can hear
tree.
it also gives like a faint radiance. You can sort of,
Yeah.
if you look at the clothes of your character, you sort of see-ish where the light direction is coming from, but you can't see the actual light source, so it's kind of hard to go in there blind.
The first time someone told me you can hear the tree, I was fairly sure that that person went mental. But yeah, you can hear the tree. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
It's correct.
That's 2 of the required things done in this route. Pick up the Ashen Mist Heart, and then kill Giant Lord, and now complete game.
Yeah,
Yep.
this one is kind of scary because you have to do 2 parox after another without a bonfire in between. And the second guy deals a lot of damage.
Yeah.
So if I fail to parry him, he will.
You do get to do the cool throw enduro skip though. I quite like that one.
That's true.
I'm a big fan
Yeah.
of that one.
And I failed this one,
It's
which
so
is
much
kind of
nicer
sad.
than the way we did
Oh,
in the past,
okay,
where you
I'm
had to do
getting
a couple jumps at the end.
Mauled.
Yeah, so this is so much better.
Just getting
I
mauled
think
by
I
some
don't think I
guys.
failed it at all since like learning how you do it nowadays.
Nowadays, old man pseudo.
Yeah.
Right, come here.
Like I think I started these to any % from watching Pseudo, so we probably know all the bad stuff that was there about that time. Like not having a good setup for Throne Duo,
Yeah.
not having a good setup for Giant Lord, fucking meme skip here.
Energy and everything's completely different beast from what you're seeing
Yeah.
here. Like you don't have time to get hexes, so you use a dragon tooth. But it's like a really clunky, big weapon. You have to fight Giant Lord
it's
from
not-
between his legs and
It's not that bad, apart from on the Chandra, so like
Yeah,
he's
the
totally
very
reliant
last fight
on
is-
getting much glitch.
yeah. So on NG, I don't think it... Oh my god, these guys.
Ooh. As long as you don't get shot after the parry walk as well.
Yeah. Oh, does
Pretty
that
sure it's
actually
blocked, yeah.
matter?
You can still finish the
Yeah.
no, you can still finish the skip, but you can't bind a boost, so it will be pretty slow.
Oh yeah, right. Forgot about that detail.
Oh yeah, you don't actually have to jump for this skip. That's pretty fun.
No. Before that would be an absolute run. Oh, well, it's a run
Yeah.
kill regardless, because you would lose like 15
What?
seconds probably.
Oh, I found a kill
You're
box.
pretty low.
Nice. Why was it
Yeah,
so low?
you're a bit low,
Oh, because
because
the
you
guy was...
you parried him a bit further
wow,
out.
that was dumb. Alright. I guess that can happen. Okay,
Yeah. So for people who start learning this run, especially this skip and a few others, there's just kind of spurious kill boxes floating around that are invisible, and if you run into them, then you die.
yeah, that
So
happened.
your pathing can be quite important on some of these skips, and obviously when you're looking for skips with parry walk, it's often not as easy as I'll just run in a straight line because there might be
Yeah.
a kill box in the
Yeah.
way.
Might
You need to
also,
make
Yeah,
sure
so
your
even
height
if-
is correct to avoid it.
might also stuff
So even
loading
in
in randomly.
90%, we probably go a bit further out to the right than like we actually have to, because just losing that way that close to the end is very painful.
Yeah,
And
there's
it can still
kill boxes
happen
on the left
sometimes when
side
you
as well.
start getting cocky.
I hit the kill box yesterday. And I was like, oh,
Uh,
found it on the left hand side.
you have to correct yourself sometimes when you start
Yeah.
getting too comfortable.
Where are my souls? Up there, alright. Got them. While I wait for this guy to come. It's a slow day today.
Just waiting for him to go like up a bit past the staircase. into
Yeah,
the
that's what I
production
mean
room
if
or
he
fine.
deals a lot of damage.
Yeah, that type does a lot.
Oh.
Yeah, the meme attack.
Okay, now I should be on the correct height.
Yeah, it should be
I
fine.
quite like that attack actually. It's so easy to parry.
Yeah, it's not too bad honestly, but
The wind-up
Well,
just
you take this-
looks like any other.
you take this super far right, Red.
Yeah, I don't want to enter into the kill rocks, instead of just going all the way.
You're safe over here.
You're like 50 meters away from the kill.
I don't care. This is my safe pathing. Don't add me. Okay. There we go. Throne of Wand. Endgame area.
Easy as that. So that's the skip you use in any percent. You just run straight to the end of the game. You don't need the King's Ring to open that door.
Why
Which
do you
is quite
pun
fortunate.
me? Am I too safe for your taste?
Yeah.
Dang, I'm
That's
sorry.
100% so.
That's okay. Right. So another Throne Watcher Defender fight. Basically go exactly like last time. We still 3-shot this guy.
Yeah, the fight is really very similar. These guys are fairly weak to Dark and GRS is OP. And also being able to fight one of them rather than two of them is a pretty big benefit. This fight can be really tough in current patch, for example. There's a lot of RNG, or can be.
Yeah. At least because like the god fight, at least with the Red Iron Twin Blade, can be so fast.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
That it's
sense of right.
huge difference. Yeah, sense of right. Or they just jump into you and you just do a full combo right next to the fog gate and kill them both.
No.
Oh,
Oh,
lucky
wasted
That was
damage.
close.
Oh, going for the insane. Okay, I'm going really far to the side because it happened to me that this laser one-shot me because
Yeah.
Off the ledge.
it's
wobble.
got.
I'm
Oh,
happy to know, guys, that the credits in New Game Plus are in fact skippable. They don't make you sit through another 6 minutes.
yeah, that's a very cool
Unfortunately.
thing.
Such nice developers.
Alright. Yeah, that
Something like
was
Spear's pretty OP.
NG Plus. Done. Skip credits.
Easy clap.
Like the major there. Now we go to NG Plus Plus.
This is where we can complete that. For example, that's if you try and do all achievements on current patch, that New Game Plus run through that registered in 20 minutes would be, well, an absolute bare minimum of an hour. So you can see why it's a very slow run on current patch.
Yes, plus plus.
So
Could
in
say
theory,
+2, but it's
there's
lazy.
only what, like 5-10 minutes left of this run.
Yeah, we're pretty close to ending. I guess we should warn the organizers.
In case,
But yeah,
in case anyone's
like,
unaware.
I don't know how I am on the last one. I have no idea. Not every time I'm there.
You could have missed one of the achievements and then have to spend 30 minutes
Oh
to
really?
join the Dragon Covenant. No, you shouldn't have done. But it is a bit worrying in this category. You can if you get anything wrong, you will only find out when they go up here.
Yeah, you barely will wait for the Dark Soul achievement to pop up. And then it
Yeah.
just doesn't come, and you're like, something's off. Oh, you're barely doing the same thing again, maybe this time without doing too many jumps.
Yeah, this time we only need to get to Dragon Lake, and that's it.
I get a bit of echo from you, Eris.
That's weird. But yeah, I hear some stuff twice. I don't know why.
So there's an example of when Red was running into the wall there to try and clip out of bounds, the character's actual position was moving forwards the entire time, but he was kind of stuck. So as soon as he actually clipped, he like teleported, well maybe not teleported, but moved very quickly to where his actual game coordinates were. Just kind of like how parry walking works, and it's why you can do things like pick up items from out of bounds. Because although your character doesn't look like he's on top of the item, if you just run into a wall 4 times, your position will have moved inside the wall, and you can pick up things with your internal character essentially.
So that's something we exploit in some situations. Also, like I talked about earlier, the ladder warp thing, which you can push through walls with, is the same concept. On that particular skip, it's actually pretty annoying because it means that if you have a slow skip, it's extra slow because it gets pushed so far away from where you need to go.
I'm on this tree. Load me. I mean, now I'm not too high, am I?
Are you too low this time?
Did I jump 8 times again?
No, it's not. It's not too low. It's not too low. He wouldn't be able to run around like that if it was too low.
Should I do the jump again?
You can try a tiny jump, yeah.
Oh, I missed. I didn't get that.
Did you take the Medula bonfire?
No.
Okay.
So luckily my estimate is fairly generous, so whatever.
So if you skip this bonfire, because theoretically you don't need to take any bonfires in New Game Plus 2 run through if you don't die.
Wait, isn't there like a... Wait, no, that's only if you light the bonfire, right? That you die and you go to Majula at some point.
Yeah, if you've got the bonfire. There is a meme to do with. It's like I think it's like if you light Ruined Fork Road and you don't like Majula, and then you die, you go back to Majula rather than going to the previous bonfire.
There's something weird like that.
Right, that's true. Maybe, I don't know. This game has some very weird stuff in it.
But lighting the bonfire does take like 5 seconds, so.
I'm not sure why I have so much trouble with parents today. It just doesn't like me today, I guess.
Usually you would skip it. Especially because you don't get punished too much running out betwixt with Binary Boost. If you didn't have Binary Boost, that like 2-minute run would be pretty miserable.
Yeah.
It would have been way longer just running.
Would be like probably like 2 minutes 40 to get back here.
Yeah.
Maybe longer.
Ouch. Rude.
Insane parry walks though.
Dang, all nice clip.
Yeah, that's a good skip.
Yeah, I've been a really good split if I didn't completely fail the first try. Come on.
Getting the jumps there can be difficult. Sometimes the game doesn't put you into that kind of weird, like glitchy animation where you can often get jumps. That one.
Okay, we had 2. Slowly but surely. Oh, give me jumps, game, please. I'm trying to go fast here. Okay, that's 7.
Probably just Red getting nervous because he's so far ahead of schedule.
Yeah, that's wrong on purpose, man. Yeah.
You're like super far left, Bird. Okay, there you go.
Yeah. There we go. It loads.
Hey,
Nice.
easy.
First try.
So now that this area is loaded, now we can touch the ground in this area, which is, let's say, 2 areas over from where the parry walk happened. The enemy deloads and we can continue. But you couldn't really deload the enemy from back where that kind of green screen was.
Yeah, there's a, if you want a sort of easier version, you can also like jump down to the ground behind the last door there and then quit out. But it's obviously much slower for our purposes.
Yeah.
You still need like at least 5 jumps, I think. It's something like it's a recovery if you don't get enough jumps, but it's not really useful in natural ones because it's so slow.
Insane backup strats.
Then there's also the risk when you do that you can hit the infinite low screen period.
Last pair of the game. Here I'm struggling. Oh. Wow, he moved sideways so you couldn't see the wind-up behind his body. That guy has some check
die,
six.
Red.
We have yet to see the
I
ground
died.
attack though.
Jinxed me. Actually jinxed me. But I took the bonfire. But wait, do I? Wait.
Does it work though?
That's the question, right?
Oh,
I mean,
you didn't
at
take
least you
Medulla,
can at least you can warp there, right?
Medulla. Yeah, you can warp there. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. It works.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Okay. Why did it work? It's because you already died once.
Maybe the hidden strats. But I didn't die actually. I just walked back.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and maybe that counts as well. I don't know.
First try.
Yeah, I was too confident in my parry skills to heal there.
Oh, you get to deal with this enemy, don't you? This enemy coming up is like one of the most unbelievably strong NPC. Not
Yeah,
NPCs, like,
it's insane.
Oh,
Oh,
invaders
that's
in
a
the
nice
game.
loading.
It's actually absurd how strong they made this guy. For no real reason either. He's only there in New Game Plus and higher. And
Could you parry walk him instead, or is it just that he does a lot of damage when he fails parries?
you probably could parry walk him, honestly. Be an
And
interesting strat.
struts. Don't need to deal with him if he's power rocked. Okay, I'm gonna try some insane sniping. I'm really bad at it.
So it doesn't really matter.
I'm really bad at it, but I'll try to
I don't even know
snipe.
if you can parry him because he's got like a great
Oh.
hammer or whatever.
Oh, that was the wrong
Uh,
spell.
Well,
You
if
need
he one hands, you
lightning
probably
spear.
can.
Oh, that was a nice sniper. Right.
Nice.
Insane.
Sunlight Spear is so OP in this area.
Yeah.
So this is the red guy I'm talking about. He has like
Wait, he's
a billion poise
survived?
and also
Why?
1 health.
He took over 1,000 damage and still lives.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, I didn't get to see how much damage, how much HP he had.
He couldn't have had much there.
Definitely not 1,178.
Why do I do that? Oh, whatever. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this guy.
No,
He was really
he's not
nice
too
once,
bad from
actually.
range. Fighting him melee though is like you basically need your Red Iron Twin Blade. The running attack of the Red Iron Twin Blade gives you enough time to get away without
Insane
dying.
stress, something.
Nice roll soldier there, just standing there, looking into
Yeah.
the horizon.
I don't know. Oh, that was him.
Maybe
What?
saw,
Was it his body? Standing up? I don't know. Weird stuff's happening. Don't pay attention to it.
Kill the elephants.
Right. Oh, there's a soldier wanting to come in first.
Lightning Spear the elephants, even more fun.
Right, sounds good.
For those who don't know, this gate takes a very long time to open. Sweet damage. These guys are pretty tanky, as you can see.
Wrecked. Right, we are basically coming up on time. Already, it usually one-shots them. I don't know why the guy survived my first Sun and Spear.
Yeah, why the one earlier took like 10,000 damage and he took 1,300. I'm not sure.
Maybe because it was so far away.
I didn't
I
think
mean,
that affected the lightning spear, but
You wouldn't think so.
That guy has a lot of to talk about, but
oh, maybe the first one didn't take the.
okay, get ready on
the second
time.
hit or something.
Time is when Dark Soul appears. For marathons, I suppose. Oh, time.
Oh, there we go. I was so worried.
Yeah,
That
no,
was so
no.
late.
Yeah, it took a while.
It always takes way too long for me. I don't know why. Like, pseudo get to the melee in his swords, but I always have to wait 5 seconds. Alright, yeah, but then it was
24 minutes ahead of schedule.
to be fair, when I made the estimate, my PB was like 40 minutes slower. So, and only like 20 minutes of the time since then we're farming. Oh, I guess that's it from us. The marathon's obviously gonna continue. More Dark Souls next week with Max in DS1. If you want to see more Souls, if you want to see other games, just, I don't know, stay here, watch. And then we would be done here.
Hope you guys enjoyed the run. It was definitely fun for us, so.
Yep.
Enjoy the rest of the marathon.
thank you to Red, Pseudos Trippy, and Stennis for putting on the Dark Souls 2 All Achievements run. Very nice to see Red go through there, and I have not beaten that game, and I've just watched the entire thing just be absolutely gutted, which was quite the experience. We have a video for you for Save the Children, the event that we are doing here in NASA 2020. The money raised from it is going to Save the Children, and you can hear some more about them in this video.
18 years. That's about how long it takes for a kid to grow up. And a lot can change in that time. Since the year 2000, 30 million more people have fled their homes due to conflict, the most in history. But in that same time span, caring individuals and organizations like Save the Children have made positive change for children. 50 million more kids reached their 5th birthday, and 49 million more kids have healthy food. 94 million fewer kids were forced into harmful labor, and 115 million more kids are in school. 11 million fewer girls were forced to marry. 3 million fewer girls gave birth, and 12,000 fewer children were killed by violence. All this positive change, rippling from one childhood to the next. Imagine how many more lives we can change in our lifetime.
And coming up on the schedule here at NASA Marathon 2020, let me cautiously move that from one screen to the next. That was Dark Souls that we just saw. We're going to have the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time bingo by Hyperion64. I do not know what is on these bingo cards, so I am going to be right along for the ride with the rest of you folks that are watching. Zelda Ocarina of Time is a game that has gone through many, many changes since first introduced heavily in a speedrun environment back in 2010, 2011. So there's a lot of tech, there's a lot of routing, and there's just a lot of zaniness, frankly, that can be involved in any given run of that. And a bingo run is an opportunity for a runner to get creative with how they satisfy the conditions of the bingo card. I'm sure Hyperion will talk more about that when that run gets going. Later on in the day, after that, we're going to have Pokemon Stadium Gym Leader Castle Round 1 by Quo. Quo, who had a birthday a little while back. For his birthday, he wanted to point out to people that the Q is lowercase. That's the correct title case when you spell his name, for anyone that didn't know. A little bit of trivia there for you. That run has a incentive. It's a $150 incentive during the Pokemon Stadium run to do a 3-win minigame speedrun as well, for anyone's interested in that. Pokemon Puzzle Challenge is after that. Jack Nicklaus's Greatest 18 Holes Major Championship Golf. That is the most fun name I've read out of this entire schedule. And that is way later today. And then we got Untitled Goose Game and Grease, which is a very, very aesthetically pretty game. Interesting to see what that speedrun's going to be like. That's what's coming on throughout the rest of the day today on Friday here at NASA Marathon. And you saw the little video we posted a moment ago about Save the Children. So no need to say more about that at this moment. We are gonna get some games going on the screen for you. We're gonna get some marbles going, if what I read is to be believed. Let's go ahead and get that up for you. And they're still working through the setup and whatnot for it. And for anyone who's not played marbles in stream before, it is it's a physics-based game where anyone in the chat can play. And it's it parses the chat in a way. You type a command, and it will put a marble with your name on it in the actual game, and you can watch it go down through the thing. And it's all RNG, which is fantastic. So if you lose, you can blame the RNG, which is the ultimate scapegoat in gaming and speedrunning, right? It's also always really fun to watch one of the balls just get launched into absolutely nowhere and get completely yeeted off the map. And where's that? I did mention the bid, the bid donations for. Where is it at? I got a whole list here. I talked about the one for Quo's run, but when we do Pokemon Puzzle Challenge, which is going to be after that, there is a donation bid war for which Pokemon is going to be used during the run. And there are multiple different choices on that list. Now there are 9 different options to pick from. So far, Totodile is winning with $20, and everything else is tied at 0. I feel like, do we see enough Totodile in certain speedruns? I feel as if some of these other Pokemon can get some representation out there. Blossom, Chikorita, Cyndaquil, Marill, Pichu, Pikachu, Sentret, Togepi, and Totodile are the options, with Totodile in the lead, $20. And Sentret, I'm just saying, Sentret is needs, our little furry buddy needs a highlight right on him. But you guys can decide with your donations how that's going to go. The very start of Saturday, Diddy Kong Racing's got a 3-character file name bid war that you can go for. And then the Sims 3 run, you can name the sim, 13 characters total. I believe is how I should interpret that. 13 characters for first and last name, it says. Hey, there we go. We're starting to see some things happen. I hope everyone's having a great Friday out there. It is good to be back with the NASA crew for North American Speedrun 2020. Good to see a lot of familiar faces on the schedule and in the chat hanging out today. That Piken emote is way too good. Whoever's decision was to add that to the what's it called, the emote roster, whenever that was added, that is a thinking person. You should maybe consider keeping them around. Mom pushed to talk, so when I have to type, I have to stop talking for a second. It's a little silly. But otherwise, you would hear dogs barking in the background, which might not be the worst thing. I feel like we got a lot of animal lovers out there in the chat. We have marbles set up, and we're going to be moving over to that. Hey, we got a donation to read right quick here. Before I click that button. Or while I'm clicking that button, I suppose. We have an anonymous $15 donation. Shout out to the gamers. Thank you, we appreciate that. All right, really good odds of winning there, folks. 4 people in. don't let Lurk Chan win. We need a few more competitors to go up against Lurk Chan. Thank you, Quo. Appreciate it. You're a legend. I see the names pop up on the screen there. See, there you go. Thank you. Not making it easy for the mods. They do a lot of work for us all day long, and this is our opportunity to get one back at them by making sure they don't take a top 3 in. Also, I actually have no idea who's in control of the button, so as for when it starts, I don't. And so I'll see the countdown about the same time you guys see the countdown. There we go. Starting. I'm not familiar with this particular Marbles course that we're on. All right, everyone is off and move. A lot of vertical movement going through. And there is people starting to line up. See a nice little line forming as they all funnel down at the bottom of that drop. Yeah, watch out for the pudding boss, as it were. Don't want to get stuck. We all saw it. You know who won. Don't act like you didn't. You can be in denial all you want, but we watched it. So I believe someone is sorting through the balls there and is going to find out which one was the winner. And if they can't determine which one because we forgot to write our names on them with marker, we're just going to have to run back the whole. It looks like Lurk's saying that's what's going to happen. The balls got lost in the pudding. Couldn't read the markers. Oh, did we spray those off? Look at that. Looks like Melbo was the one that made it to the. I appreciate you getting the hose out and washing down the course. All right, so we have another round getting put together. And just the same thing as before. See, it's raining in this one, so there's definitely not going to be any mud on the track this time. You go ahead and type !play. Hey, that's my name. I can see my name in there. A dark fox on my right. Remember, this is a full collusion against Lurk-chan. So go ahead and get some more people. Hey, Moniko, good to see you. Hope you've been well, friend. And to everyone else, new or returning in Marvel's chat here at NASA Marathon. Had Dark Souls finish up a little early, so now we're just playing some side games. That way the schedule does not become a smoking charred crate. Things like that keep the admins awake.
Well, hello there.
Hello there! Hi, I'm Gander.
Hey.
You haven't met.
I'm Pokerface Avate. I'll be the next host. So, I'm glad to say hello to you from rainy Poland. You have about 6 more hours to enjoy NASA than I have. So, good for you, I guess. Like to all of you in the US.
Hey, time check for our EU friends. What is it over there? My day started at 9 a.m.
My day started at about like 1 p.m. my time, but it's almost 11 right now. 11 p.m.
About 2 o'clock where I'm at.
Nice.
Ray's
So
counting down right now. All right, and off they go. Look at this mod privilege cam to start. See Dark Aries Knight there. Not going to be the one that makes it down first. No one. Oh, there they go. A couple people straggling behind. Psychic _ Cactus. Shoutouts to people with underscores in their username. Looking to be the one in the pole position there. And, Moniko? Oh, no, Moniko not. Oh, Moniko with the skip. Look at that. There is someone ahead of them, however. And, Dark Aries Knight taking the lead, jumping ahead.
nice lead, yeah.
I think he's going to maintain it going down into the lower section. Big launch. Not quite. Oh, Aries. Rip. Plus F for Aries. Melbo. No, not Melbo again. No way. Is this... Lost a lot of momentum there. Oh, might have good RNG with the spinner. He does. Two in a row? Is that did we just... Melbo, Two Worlds, Dark Fox. Look at that. It's rigged against the mods, folks. Nevia Ukami and Psychic Cactus rounds out the top. Dark Aries banished to the Shadow Realm. And I'm not seeing anyone else trickling in. It might be these are the only survivors. Oh, we're another one right at the end there. Melbo wins again. Is that going to be said a lot? Is that going to become a running gag? Melbo, are you going to sweep this? Continue. You've created a mythos already, and it's only been 2 games. I didn't even make it through the course. I'm having terrible. Yes, that's 2 for Team Underscore in first place. Modoko didn't make it either. Neither did Kiddo Fox. Kiddo Fox with a bold claim that he was coming through. Didn't quite happen, man. So now you've seen how it works without the mud. They picked the rain course, I bet, for that very reason. And remember, if you lose, you can always just blame the RNG. And there are numerous wild courses out there. Who knows which ones remain to be seen. Spinners. I see big vertical spinners. Alright, type play, folks. You know how it works now. Poker, have you done marbles before, or is this a new thing?
I've seen marbles, I've never done marbles. So it's completely new. Yeah, we even have the entirety of NASA Marathon as a marble. That one has to win.
I feel like NASA Marathon can't win. I feel like if it did, that's just that's some kind of collusion.
If NASA Marathon wins, then that means everyone wins. So that could be pretty good.
It's true. We're all NASA Marathon here together, collected today.
Be careful with committing to stuff like giving subs to the winner right now, because if NASA Marathon wins, you're supposed to give a sub to everyone in the chat. I don't make the rules. I'm sorry.
That's
people?
logic with a Mario star. I can't touch it.
Exactly.
We got the countdown going. These vertical spinners are problem. And down they go. Kiddo Fox getting a little bit of a push downward. Looks like Nevi is the first one out. No big stucks so far in the leaders that I can see. Field made it down the splits pretty well. Led in front. Making the way down the spiral. Hey, what was that? What did I do there? Thinking emoji. I'm taking a strange alternate path. Ledif and Nevia just bumping into each other. Ooh, big split right there.
Never mind.
That's a solid lead. This slows everyone down. You don't want to be the first one into this. Oof. Couple of people dropping out right there. Oh, you got wrecked!
Nice.
Ledin, I am so sorry. No, don't let Lurk win. You better no. Wait, which one got in first? Wait,
Is this gonna be Melbo the third time?
no. Are you serious, game? The RNG.
NASA Marathon got launched as well, the same way. I don't know if you see it, it was just like in the corner of the screen, but
No, I didn't catch that one. He got totally yeeted.
yeah.
Oh, the lead again.
Another one!
Monaco. NASA did make it through after all. Oh, I'm out. I'm taking a dive. I have not finished a stage. The spirit of chat, NASA Marathon itself did make it through. Let's see if Monaco gets through before the storm. Nope. Just watch him just get ejected. Guys,
It is Melbo. Nice.
Melbo, 3 games in a row. That is Melbo, I don't know. I don't know if you retire and take your trophy, or if you try to just keep going and potentially never win again. I don't know how you want to play it. It's all up to you. You've got the command. You've got the command, the play command to enter or not. Let's see if we get another game in. Yeah, we got to do a little bit of a tech setup in there. So it looks like Melbo going 3-0 NASA Marathon Marbles on stream, and looks like we're gonna get the tech setup so we can start to transition over to the next. And in this little transition here between the previous game and this next one, we got Zelda Ocarina of Time Bingo coming up. That is the end of my time with you for this particular day. I'm going to be back with you folks on Sunday for I'm gonna be honest, I forget which thing I have next because the schedule is on another tab. And the last time I clicked over to Firefox, weird things happened. But I do want to thank you folks for hanging out with us here at NASA Marathon 2020. I want to say a thank you to English Ben, who helped me, get things, who read me into the situation for hosting. So I appreciate it. I'm going to turn things over to Poker Fasawate now, and he will see you guys through the next few games.
All right, thank you very much. As I said, it's 11 p.m. here in if you're watching from the US, you still have a few more hours to enjoy. Am I muted? Okay. Hello. I assume this should do it. I hope it did it. I hope at least. Okay, I can hear myself. I can hear myself on the stream, so. Yeah, okay, you can hear me. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. It's just like I was kind of told differently, and I wasn't streaming audio properly, so it's let's say it's 50-50. It's half my fault, half tech. And okay, so again, welcome from hello from rainy Poland. Here, it's 11 p.m. here, so we don't have as many hours to enjoy the first day of this year's NASA as you American folks do. And there's a couple things. There's a couple of things you might wanna wait for this very evening. This is only the first evening of the first evening. It's evening for me, but this is the first day of the first out of 2 weekends of NASA, and we have a couple of incredible runs for you. And so far we've raised almost $300. We still have some amazing incentives for you that are waiting to be filled. And the next one is a Pokemon Stadium, but we are going to see Pokemon Stadium right after the next run, which is the Ocarina of Time Bingo. And you still have the entirety of the Ocarina of Time Bingo and the entirety of Pokemon Stadium, which is another 2 hours, to fulfill the incentive to add 3 minigame runs, an additional minigame speedrun for 3 wins to the end of that run. We still have, I believe we still have one leftover donation that is waiting to be read, and that is correct. We have $15 from Anonymous without comment. Thank you very much. And this is going to the file name choice for Diddy Kong Racing 100%, which is coming soon, and the name of choice is BLM. So thank you very much for that. And with that, we are, as I said, we're close to $300. So if you can, remember to donate. We are raising money for Save the Children. And this is only the beginning of our work to gather as much money, as many donations as possible for the great cause that Save the Children is. So thank you very much for all the donations so far. Make sure to keep them coming. Make sure to check out our incentives and bid wars, because this is something you might want to put your money towards if you're donating already. The ones that are going to come up soon, as I mentioned, the Pokemon Stadium one, but right after the Pokemon Stadium incentive, we also have a Pokemon Puzzle Challenge bid war for the Pokemon that's gonna be used in the run, and you have so many options to choose from, and that's 9 Pokemon to choose from. Right now, Totodile is winning with $20, and all of the rest is at 0. So if you wanna, snipe any of the other ones, this is just gonna cost you like $20 and a cent. That's probably gonna be beaten. So if you really wanna snipe one of these, then you probably wanna choose some more. We also have a file name choice for Diddy Kong Racing. As I said, the donation that just came in was put towards the file name choice. And right now we just have $15 for BLM. And this is the only option. So if you'd like to snipe that, there's still some time before Diddy Kong Racing. Diddy Kong Racing is coming up in a couple of hours after both Pokemon games, Jack Nicklaus' greatest 18 holes of Major Championship Golf, Untitled Goose Game, and Greece. So you still have a couple of games to go. I assume we will have some more options at least before that run comes up. Right, I'm told we're ready, so get hyped for Ocarina of Time Bingo. It's supposed to be really interesting, so let's get it done.